radio station. Guaranteed human.
All right, let's go. KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show. We're starting off here. We are live on YouTube. So get to your YouTube screen, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow to subscribe and become a member. We had an exciting end yesterday to the program. We hit 8,000 subscribers. We want to get to 10,000. That's going to be the next stop. You can hear us on, not only over the radio, but streaming and the podcast, John Kobylt Show on Demand, after 6 o'clock. That gets released. That's same as the radio show. We've got much to cover, as always. And I tell you, we were so far ahead of this curve. We have been calling Gavin and Jennifer the grifters for a long time. We told you that they're crooks, they're criminals, they've been hoisting all kinds of money out of many, many different places for their own enrichment. All you have to look at the array of homes that they own and that they bought with cash, and that they don't have, they didn't have mortgages on. The weird network of LLCs that they are connected to. But one thing that was rarely talked about, because it wasn't covered by all the progressive suck-ups in the media in California, and because it's also not really a sexy thing. It's a financial thing, but it's the key to all the money that they have extracted. And in case we went over this a little bit yesterday, and we're going to give you some more detail because I have an eye-popping number. In fact, I gave this number to Deborah before the show, and her eyes popped. Something popped.
Yes, it was eye-popping.
It's an eye-popping number. The amount of money that Newsom and Gavin and Jennifer have shaken out of corporations in this state. You come up with a number in your head, I bet you your guess will not come close to how much money Gavin and Jennifer has done the shakedown routine on and has gotten from these companies. Now, first I have to explain a word. And this word is never used in normal discussion. You rarely see it in publications. It's called a behestment. A behestment. Behested gifts. All right. This concept is really important. A behested donation is when Gavin Newsom calls up the head of PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, and says, I know you just killed 85 people up in Paradise by neglecting your electricity equipment. But we here at the state of California will be willing to pass legislation to bail you out. Tax money, ratepayer increases, whatever you need. Okay? And the PG&E guy, who ought to be in prison, goes, oh, yeah, sure, whatever you need, Gavin. What do you need? Well, I want you to contribute $1 million to my wife's nonprofit. She makes irritating feminist films. I can't watch them. You won't watch them. But she's going to force them on school children. And the school children, their parents are going to have to pay for it. Okay, Gavin, I'll do that. That means we'll be able to get bailed out? Yes, you'll get bailed out. Okay, we won't go bankrupt. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're not going to go bankrupt. You just send, $1 million to encourage Jennifer Newsom. You make sure you put down the name of her nonprofit. Oh, okay. That's how it works. Boy, does this work. Do you know how many times, and this is the eye-popping number, since he became lieutenant governor in 2011, my God, this scoundrel has been involved in the highest end of California government for 16 years. You know how many times he made the call to a corporation and shook out big money? 1,325 behested payments. These are not campaign contributions. Obviously, there's no limit to this. These are not like political donations, but they work the same way in terms of getting influence, in getting favors, in getting bad legislation blocked, in just making the governor happy so that he's more amenable to giving you government contracts that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That's probably the most important thing. All right, now, here's the big number. Okay, your eyeball is going to pop out and roll across the floor. Newsom has 1,325 behested payments from these corporations. The total amount of money that these corporate goons and other rich people gave since 2011, $347,240,506. You see, by law, they have to keep accurate records of this. So corporations and wealthy people parted with $347 million over the last 16 years, responding to whatever Newsom demanded. And in return, they would get some kind of reward, or at least something bad wouldn't happen to them. Now, this would ordinarily be known as bribery. This would be known as pay for play. But in California, it's legal. In a lot of other states, this is illegal or severely restricted. What does this remind you of? What is this concept of corrupt but legal? Oh, that would be the election laws they created, which allow these criminal nonprofits to collect ballots from alleged homeless people, and then they write in an X for the homeless signature. The nonprofit employees sign their own name as a witness, and then they fill in the ballot. That's how Nithya Raman got thousands and thousands of last-minute, last-second votes because of that dance, which in most other states is illegal or severely restricted. Now, this is a whole different category of legalized crime, but it's the same concept. You take a concept that other states would say, well, we're not doing that. That's dirty. That's wrong. That's against the law. You ought to go to jail for it. And they legalize it. $347 million. Now, by comparison, Jerry Brown, from 2010 to 2018, only solicited $35 million. So Newsom solicited more than 10 times what Jerry Brown did. Because Jerry Brown was mildly corrupt. Gavin Newsom is stage 4 corrupt. His corruption has metastasized in his soul and spread to Jennifer Newsom. I think you can spread corruption by marriage. His use of this behesting fundraising exploded in 2020. 2020 alone, $226 million in payments. It was during the pandemic. $35 million in April. $35 million in April of 2020. That's when he was calling up companies and shaking them down. In that 1 month in 2020, he took more money from corporations than Jerry Brown did in 8 years. $35 million in April, $33 million in May, $30 million in July, $38 million in September, and so on. I'll give you an example. I'll give you some examples with specific companies when we come back, and you'll see how the game works. This state, this government, Gavin and Jennifer, are corrupt to their bone marrow, corrupt down to their mitochondrial DNA. Every cell of their bodies is corrupt. Every brain cell of their bodies. All their heart cells, liver cells, the cells of their pancreas, Completely corrupt. Tell you more about it. We'll tell you which companies paid the shakedown money. We got Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The former secretary of the LA City Firefighters Union is being charged with grand theft and forgery. And New Orleans is preparing for a storm, the first Atlantic storm of this summer's hurricane season. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go to the 10 next.
If you're looking to sell your home, you call Seller's Advantage, and they're going to make you a cash offer. No need for repairs. They'll buy your house as is for cash. They'll close in days. You might get a $10,000 advance to help you move. Go read the reviews online. You call this number. No obligation offer. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home. Make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs upper 60s to mid 80s. This report brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Slow on the 10 in Santa Monica.
With those eastbound delays are filling in away from 20th Street, taking you all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. Now let's get a look at the situation in Anaheim. Car fire, 91 westbound before the 55, taking out the 3 right lanes. The drive is pushing back almost for Bear Canyon. And in Upland, a wreck on the 210 eastbound past campus. 2 right lanes plugged up. The drive loading up away from Mountain. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
June gloom may keep things cool, but termites never stop. Termite droppings or discarded wings are signs of an active infestation. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free written inspection. Pacific Coast Termite uses orange oil and Ultraset. No tenting, no move out, and no poisonous gas. Call now and save 10% on termite services. Plus, get a free 2-year warranty. Ask about 90-day same-as-cash financing on approved credit. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC for Pacific Coast Termite. Some restrictions apply.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
After an accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? Wilshire Law Firm brings clarity when things feel uncertain. While you focus on healing, we fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. Call now. 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm is in L.A.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The biggest FIFA World Cup ever has started.
The most goals the United States have ever scored in a World Cup game.
The only place to hear the action for free is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live.
First career World Cup hat trick.
Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Just search World Cup.
Don't miss Team USA's next match Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern against Australia.
The world is listening. Are you?
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
England is beginning its World Cup journey, and Captain Harry Kane feels optimistic about their chances to lift the trophy for the first time in 60 years.
It's one of the best opportunities we will have as a team to win it, and I think everyone is eager, to first of all, just start well.
England taking on Croatia today. Last night, Lionel Messi scored 3 times for Argentina, tying the all-time World Cup goals record.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere. iHeartRadio app. Moist line is Friday, 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86. And let it out, let it rip. You could talk all you want about the grifters, Gavin and Jennifer. Use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You could talk about anything. You could talk about Deborah. She's always asking every week. It's like, am I in the moist line? Did anyone say anything about me? So,
what are you saying about me?
That you bother Eric every week about whether you're mentioned in the moist line.
Poor Eric, because I ask if I'm on the moist line because I want to make sure that I'm listening.
Am I in the moist line? Anyone commenting on me on YouTube? Anyone saying hi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all about me.
It's all. Go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We are live right now. In fact, I was going through the comments and there is nothing about you.
Oh.
But
Thanks, guys. Love you too.
But people are responding to our discussion here about how utter corruption. And if you're just joining us, Newsom has gotten $340 million to whatever nonprofits he designated in order to get his way. $340 million in 8 years. They're called behested payments. And I gave you an example that, when PG&E was in trouble over killing people with their all the fires that they started, they were afraid of going bankrupt. And Newsom called them up and said, hey, give millions of dollars, give some to Jennifer's film festival, and then we'll get you bailed out. And you might saying, well, that's illegal, that's bribery. And yeah, it is in all the other states, but not here. It's exactly like all the homeless voting for Nithya Raman. That whole system is illegal in all other states, but not here. And that's the beauty of one-party rule for the last 16 years is they have rewritten the laws, the rule book entirely, and things that even the mafia would say, it's like, geez. Oh, in fact, that was the line I wanted to find from one of the listeners. It's like, yeah, the mafia used to use behested payments. That's exactly like what you see in the old movies where some mobster guy walks in to a guy's shop and says, boy, hate to see something bad happen to your place. And then the guy behind the counter has got to fork over $100 every week. Well, that's what happens with Gavin and Jennifer. Hate to see something bad happen here. Bad legislation, legislation that restricts or taxes their business. That's what this is about. Or how about a no-bid contract? Now, I told you that Gavin raised $347 million in these behested payments, calling companies and saying, give me 1,325 payments in the last 15 years, going back to when he was lieutenant governor. I'll give you an example. Again, 2020, the pandemic year, Newsom went wild. He shook Blue Shield down for a $20 million donation. Months later, Newsom awarded a $15 million no-bid contract to distribute the vaccines. I should credit Josh Cohn from the California Post with a lot of this work that he's done. Here's another one he found. Kaiser Foundation gave almost $10 million to the COVID-19 response fund. 2 years later, Newsom gave them another no-bid contract to manage Medi-Cal. You see how it is? Again, this should be illegal. You think it's illegal. It is illegal in most places, but not in California. And in all these stories, the political analyst at the end goes, well, I mean, this is all legal. You don't understand. Now, I understand. One-party rule corrupts. The mafia in New York was one-party rule. I was just been watching a documentary on the five families on the mafia in New York City. They were the shadow government, the unelected government, and you had to pay them off, or you'd have this mysterious fire like what Spencer Pratt suffered recently. You want another one? Newsom has reported $330 million in payments just since 2020. He made them give money to climate programs, workforce initiatives, whatever the hell that is, immigrant services, illegal aliens, wildfire recovery. Wildfire recovery. Yeah. There was one fund that was supposed to help out the fire victims in the Palisades in Altadena. The victims got nothing. He gets money to finance his official state travel. And, of course, the California Partners Project, another nonprofit founded by Jennifer. Records list, and these are all public records, list almost $5 million for Jennifer's California Partners Project since 2020. That includes over $2 million from the Federated Indians of Greater Rancheria, which has benefited from decisions by Newsom. Its chairman, Greg Saris, was appointed to the University of California Board of Regents. The tribe gave $500,000 in 2024, and then a few months later, Newsom lobbied federal officials to reject a rival casino project that the Koi Nation tribe wanted. Then the Federated Indians of Greater Rancheria gave another $500,000 in 2025. A month later, California sued to block the Koi Nation casino. Silicon Valley Bank gave Jennifer's nonprofit $100,000. 2 years later, in 2023, Newsom lobbied the Biden administration because the bank was about to collapse. 3 of Newsom's private wineries were clients of Silicon Valley Bank. It was about to collapse. Silicon Valley Bank gave money to Newsom, and then Newsom is calling up the Biden administration. Don't let this bank collapse. I have 3 wineries with money in this bank. In 2025, Newsom got $18 million in solicited donations, large wildfire recovery donations. He just paid a $31,000 ethics fine for not reporting some of these donations in a timely manner. By the way, new information today. It looks like Jennifer Newsom's haul between her nonprofit company and her for-profit company to make those irritating feminist films, $3.7 million. $3.7 million. About half of it she got in salary from her nonprofit, and the other half, about $2 million, came from her for-profit company. And both of these entities are involved in making the film. So she's got a nonprofit and a for-profit. She gets a salary from the nonprofit. She gets the profits from the for-profit separate company. She banked almost $4 million from that racket. Got more coming up. And thanks to Josh Cohn from the California Post for a lot of this research. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Firefighters are on the scene of a fire on the roof of a commercial building in Boyle Heights. The LA Fire Department says crews on the scene report there are solar panels on the roof. They say the fire might have been started by an ammonia leak. The storage facility is on South Los Palos Street, and the LAFD is also working on evacuation orders. The news is brought to you by American Vision Windows. The former secretary of the LA City Firefighters Union is being charged with grand theft and forgery for allegedly making transfers from the union's nonprofit foundation to his personal account. State Attorney General Bonta and LA County DA Hochman have announced the charges and the arrest of Adam Walker. He was also chair of the organization's nonprofit foundation. The wife of a flight test engineer for the Air Force says he was one of the 8 people killed in that crash of a B-52 bomber at Edwards Air Force Base. Lauren Smith says her husband told her last week there was a problem with the plane.
They were supposed to fly Friday, and it didn't happen. They said that there was something wrong. They had to fix it.
She says the flight kept getting pushed back. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff Monday morning. New Orleans is preparing for Tropical Storm Arthur. That's the first Atlantic storm of this summer's hurricane season. New Orleans Emergency Management Director Derek Hesson warns that the city is at risk for heavy rain and high winds.
In addition to the flooding threat, a few strong storms could be capable of producing damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour and a few tornadoes.
Arthur is moving up the western Gulf Coast with maximum sustained winds of about 45 miles per hour and is expected to make landfall tonight. The interim ceasefire deal between the U.S. and Iran is aimed at reopening the Strait of Hormuz and organizing more talks over Tehran's nuclear program. ABC's Jonathan Karl says it also allows Iran to sell its oil freely.
Immediately upon signing this, they have access to international oil markets, something they have not had for many years under many different U.S. presidents.
That's according to a text of the Memorandum of Understanding released by senior U.S. officials. We're going to head over to the 210 next.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, and then they're done, and you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. However, your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in coverage, the risk you're taking. So I'm introducing you to SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees and you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, the whole thing can be too complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which translates your current policy into plain English. So you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth and you know exactly what needs protection. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, and all your policies in one place. Supersure.com, supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI. Patchy drizzle in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s and 70s for Metro LA. Mid 70s to mid 80s in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s to low 70s for the beaches. Low 70s inland OC. Right now, 74 in Laguna Woods. 76 Rancho Santa Margarita. Crash on the 210 in Upland.
So this one is along the eastbound side of that 210 past campus. They've just cleared it to the shoulder, and delays are still trying to pick up, getting away from Baseline. Anaheim, it's an earlier car fire on that 91 westbound before the 55. They've been blocking the 3 right lanes, sending the drive back away from Weir Canyon and out to Cerritos on the 605 southbound, coming up on Alondra. Middle lane's blocked due to a wreck with a slow drive leaving the 105. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I'm Duncan Newman.
And I'm Maria Newman. When you choose Newman, you get more than new windows. You get our 7-point promise. It's the peace of mind you deserve when replacing your home's windows.
Receive an exact arrival time, a fully protected home from start to finish, and so much more.
Right now, buy 2 Milgard vinyl windows and get 1 Milgard window free, plus our lifetime installation guarantee. At Newman, we finish it right, period. No excuses.
Ask about our fire recovery program. 8777-NEWMAN or NewmanWindows.com.
Restrictions apply. License number 570472. Offer ends June 30th, 2026.
Habas Law is a big team of California lawyers.
And every one of them is skilled at forcing cold-hearted corporations
and insensitive insurance companies
to do the right thing.
And the right thing for them to do
is take complete responsibility for what happened to you.
They should do the right thing.
Because it's the right thing to do.
We've been making companies do the right thing for 40 years.
I'm Omar Habas.
And I'm Nicholas Habas.
When you've been injured, call Habas Law immediately.
We know all the tricks that the insurance company will try to pull.
Whatever you do, don't sign anything until we tell you to.
The law is on your side.
But the law can't help you if you don't have a lawyer.
We want to be your lawyers.
I'm Omar Habas.
And I'm Nicholas Habas.
We protect people from insurance companies who care more about their own bank accounts than they care about you.
Call Habas Law at 1-800-INJURED.
Your day is about to get a whole lot better.
HABBASlaw.com.
Omar Habas and Nicholas Habas are California licensed attorneys with an office in Los Angeles. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet-recommended fresh dog food. Made right here in LA.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, the system is rigged against you, and Sweet James is here to fix it. Don't take on the legal system alone. Sweet James has helped thousands of injured accident victims get back what their accident took from them. Call Sweet James Accident Attorneys for a free case review. You call 1-800-9-MILLION or go to sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
What happens next after the Garden Grove tank leak? Go to OPOlaw.com.
KFI is in your ear and on your screen. Follow us now at KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It is the John Kobylt Show, and we are on every day from 3 to 6. After 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And we're live on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. And Deborah, read the comments because you've got all kinds of people now coming out to acknowledge you.
How can I read it?
You go to YouTube. You look at the video. There's a chat on the side.
Okay.
How do I read it?
Well, I'm busy reading the news right now.
You have no idea what we have to deal with here. We're going to talk with Carl DeMaio now. We've been going through the California Post story about all the $347 million that Gavin Newsom has gotten from corporations and rich people in donations for these for all these nonprofits and charities, some of which are run by his wife. Josh Cohen wrote the story, and it's all public records, so this is all true. Just never covered before. We're going to talk with Carl DeMaio now, the Republican Assemblyman down in San Diego, because he wants to have an investigation. Newsom using taxpayer funds to fight the investigation into Gavin and Jennifer by the Department of Justice, because they're doing a criminal investigation, and they're investigating them as people. And he's using tax money to fight his own private investigation. And he should be using his own money, not tax money. And Carl's going to explain. How are you, Carl?
I am very alarmed that people don't seem to realize that we have a crook for a governor, and the media should be digging deep on this, and yet they're giving him a complete pass. They're making him the victim. He's the victim of Donald Trump trying to target him. All of these stories, John, have been covered for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years by watchdog whistleblower journalists, and it stinks to high heaven. And now the feds are looking into it. But of course, Gavin Newsom's done nothing wrong. He's the victim. No, we have a crook for a governor who's basically getting millions of dollars from special interests for his wife's charity. And then she pays herself millions of dollars in consulting fees from that charity and buys a $9.1 million mansion in Marin, California. I mean, come on.
I know. It's blatant. You couldn't get more public about it. And yet they skate by.
He's a victim. He's a victim. No, John, we ought to really feel sorry for the guy. You know, after hundreds of millions of dollars and a big portion of that going into his own coffers through his wife taking a salary, boy, oh boy, feel bad for Gavin Newsom. He's a victim.
Now, what is this, his use of public tax money to fight his private investigation. Explain what's going on here.
So on Monday, after he produced a video with government money, posted it on his government website, he then had his government lawyer in the office of governor send a letter to the DOJ saying, how dare you open an investigation into the governor? We want to see the Freedom of Information Act records on any item having to do with this investigation. Now, these are taxpayer resources he's using, in essence, to defend himself against a personal criminal matter. He has due process rights, but he can't use a government attorney to defend himself. He needs to hire a private attorney with private funds or a legal defense fund, and he needs to defend himself, not with your tax dollars. Nobody gets a free tax lawyer, a taxpayer-funded lawyer, when you're being accused of the sort of malfeasance that apparently they're looking into. So he's using a government lawyer and government resources on a personal matter.
Can he make an argument that the investigation is related to his activities as governor?
Well, no, because if you take a look at the charges that were brought against his chief of staff, the issues that people are rumbling about, it's the use of the behested payments, which is a private function. Selling one's office, quid pro quo, is a private matter. The Department of Justice, if they wanted to go after the government or the governor, they don't hide it. They send a letter saying, hey, we think the state of California is not complying with law, and we're making this public, and you need to correct yourselves. Otherwise, we will sue. And what they do is they bring a civil case. This is a criminal matter. This is a personal issue, not a professional issue. It's not that they're going after him because as governor, they disagree with a policy he's adopted. No, they're going after him because they think he broke, in a personal capacity, federal law. This is a personal criminal matter. It needs to have a personal attorney paid for with his own funds, not the government funds.
I cannot believe he's been doing this for 16 years. You see articles, I'm going to mention 3 journalists who have covered this over the years, and would be Jennifer Van Laar, the managing editor at Red State, Katie Grimes at California Globe, and then Susan Crabtree, who's with Real Clear Politics, and she wrote a book about this stuff called Fool's Gold. Those 3, and they're from small internet sites. Nothing from all the traditional media in the whole state, from Sacramento, LA, San Francisco, print, internet, all the television stations, nothing. And it's $350 million that he's shaken down from the corporations.
That's right. And so when you look at this, the media has been smacked left and right about how these situations stink and how it's at least a conflict of interest, if not illegal. And yet they don't want to cover it. And then he comes out saying, I've done nothing wrong. How dare you? How dare Trump? He's targeting me. Well, hold on. You have all these questions. And so, of course, the feds are going to look into this because all of these things are quite questionable. And by the way, this was an investigation that started under Biden. It was not initiated by Trump administration officials. It's being run out of the Sacramento local office, not Washington, D.C. And your former chief of staff just pled guilty in a federal case. You can't say this was manufactured because literally these things are ongoing. These are legitimate queries, but the media ran the story. Gavin Newsom is the victim. He's being unfairly targeted by Donald Trump.
Adam Housley, who's an independent journalist, used to work for Fox, he posted today that he's aware, according to his sources, that investigations of Newsom go back to 2021, which would be the beginning of the Joe Biden administration.
Again, everything we've heard say, all of the chattering class say that this began under Biden because of whistleblowers. It relates to personal taxes in addition to the behested payments, in addition to selling one's office. Those are the areas that we know. And if you take a look at what's happening on the outside, all of these things have been documented and proven. Yesterday, Gavin Newsom got fined $31,500 for the behested payments by the state watchdog agency, the Fair Political Practices Commission. So for him to say, oh, this is all made up, nothing happened, your own watchdog agency just said you broke state law and has fined you $31,500. I mean, this isn't even like a debate at this point. It is absolutely legitimate that he's under federal investigation. I'm not saying he did anything wrong, but it is legitimate to look at the things that are happening and decide whether federal laws were broken. And that's the job of the Department of Justice. We want them to do the job because shouldn't we hold government officials accountable? I mean, is that what Newsom is suggesting? It seems he should.
You know something, Carl? One more thing, and then I got to go. Outside of you, I've never had a member of your party in office come on our show in the 16 years that Newsom has been a lieutenant governor or governor. Not one guy outside of you to talk about these matters. And the Republican Party in this state is so absurdly pathetic, providing no opposition, and they don't even tell the truth about Newsom. They just don't speak. They're impotent and docile.
The culture up here, John, is you're not allowed to criticize another politician because it's just not done. And my point of view is, no, you're an elected official. You need to hold yourself to a high standard. And if you're not going to hold yourself to a high standard, damn well other politicians should.
Carl DeMaio, thank you for coming on. Republican Assemblyman down in San Diego. All right. We have more coming up about all this. Deborah Mark, getting a lot of attention now.
I am
on the chat.
Eric said somebody paid $5 to say hi to me. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, who knows what they want for
Actually,
$5.
I don't know the name, Eric. Should you tell me the name? If they paid, I should say hello.
It's I don't have the name.
Maybe after the break.
Well,
yeah, let's go to break and do it after the break.
All right. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour news.
Here is the latest. A fire is burning at a cold storage facility in Boyle Heights. A shelter in place is in effect. The man who admitted to killing 8 women on New York's Long Island decades ago has been sentenced to life in prison. We'll have more at the top of the hour, going to the 6:05 next.
Lasting Smiles. Lasting Smiles dental implants. Now, it's summertime. You're going to be meeting a lot of people and a lot of social events, and you're going to be on vacation. Maybe you're going to see relatives and friends you haven't seen in a while. You're going to open your mouth, smile at them, and they're going to go, oh, my God, close that. Close that. Yeah. Your teeth, rotten, discolored. Some are missing. They're damaged. They're decayed. Eey. Go to Lasting Smiles for dental implants. They have a free comprehensive dental exam, full 3D imaging, custom treatment plan, and it's designed specifically for you. And listen to this, payments as low as $149 a month. $149 a month on approved credit. You can swing that. You do that. You smile, and everybody's going to like you again. Call or mention KFI or John for the Summer Smile Special. Payments as low as $149 a month. LastingSmiles.com. Call 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 605 in Cerritos.
This one on the southbound side coming up on Alondra Boulevard has been cleared off to the right shoulder, but I just checked in with the Highway Patrol and they said, yeah, we've got that auxiliary lane coned off, Angel, and that auxiliary lane is the lane used to accelerate to merge onto the freeway. So that is off limits, or that's the exit lane, one of the two. Now, traffic, however, slowing from the 105. You got another problem. This one in Anaheim, earlier car fire for the 91 westbound before the 55 freeway. It's just the right lane that's blocked now, according to the Highway Patrol, but traffic is still a mess. It's recovering, but it's backing up away from Weir Canyon. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Fox One.
Chargers wideout Lad McConkey is ramping up his activity during the team's minicamp. After working through a hamstring issue, he'll be full go at training camp. Dodgers reliever Edwin Diaz is expected to throw a bullpen session this week as he continues his rehab from elbow surgery. ESPN says the NBA Finals were the most watched since 1998, while the Stanley Cup Finals viewership was the best in 7 years. I'm Frank Aaron.
The excitement of the FIFA World Cup is now streaming live on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen, so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. This report is sponsored by California Baptist University.
California Baptist University, California's largest Christian university, offers more ways to move forward. From pre-college credit for high school students to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, with flexible courses starting every 8 weeks. Apply today at calbaptist.edu.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Still stuck driving a lemon? If your car keeps going back to the dealership for the same issue, you could qualify for a refund, replacement, or cash compensation. Visit lemonwins.com or text lemon to lemon. That's lemonwins.com.
If you run a business, consider this. 77% of Americans say our nation's 250th birthday is an appropriate time to celebrate. That gives you the green light to advertise. Let iHeart help you advertise around America 250. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, y'all, it's Dean Sharp, your house whisperer, here to tell you how much I love LifeSource water systems. It is the essential home appliance. If you live in LA like I do, you know our tap water has issues. Our cities add chemicals like chlorine to our water on top of contaminants that they can't handle, like microplastics. LifeSource whole house water systems filter the water for your entire home. No filters to change, just clean, healthy water for every tap, every appliance, every shower. As a Pasadena-based company, LifeSource has been building, installing, and supporting customers across Southern California for over 40 years. And here is the best part. Right now, during their summer special, LifeSource is paying your sales tax. That's up to $1,000 off a new system, but only through July 4th. So call the factory today at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource, taste and feel the difference. Warranty limitations apply.
Gary and Shannon.
More stimulating talk.
What's going to happen now with this runoff for mayor?
When records, when policy, you agree on all that, what is there left? And so they're going to go after each other's records. It's going to get ugly.
Tomorrow, 9 to noon on KFI AM 640.
You save your sharpest knives for those you know best, and these two know each other very well.
This is KFI. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
How could I entice you to get your butt to the gym?
A gold star would work for me.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to talk about. Gold stars getting people to the gym.
The Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow at 9.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand. Royal Oaks is coming on with us after Deborah's News at 4 o'clock. Luigi Mangione's attorneys are going the insanity route to defend him for killing that United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. They call it an affirmative psychiatric defense, that he was suffering extreme emotional disturbance. Yeah, it's a cold-blooded psycho killer, but hey, that's what they get paid to do. We're going to talk with Royal Oaks ABC News legal analyst coming up right after 4 o'clock. No matter how much money you make, no matter how nice your house, no matter how great the neighborhood, in Los Angeles, Karen Bass will allow your neighborhood to turn to crap. And in Encino, in an upscale section on Weddington Street, now they have to deal with some jackass neighbor who's turned his house over to the OnlyFans crowd. If you don't know OnlyFans, it is largely young women who show off their bodies and perform sex acts for their customers who pay money, who pay subscriptions. And some of these subscriptions, you get to meet the girl and you get to go over the house wherever she's performing. And I don't know what else happens. So Chris Wolf from KTLA covered this story. And one neighbor said, we've seen scantily clad women almost half naked. Apparently, it's a whole house full. It's an endless, constant party. People smoking marijuana, disruptions, parties. The police won't show up to stop anything. Somebody finally called 911 claiming an emergency. It was a swatting incident. That's where you call in a hoax in order to get the cops to show up. Usually it's set up to harass somebody. This, I think, was a neighbor deciding, well, if you're not going to come and stop this, we're going to set up a fake emergency so that you come. All these girls are considered models, but you pay. And mostly they're naked and close to it. And they're engaging in explicit sexual acts. One neighbor says, well, we don't care what content is being made. Well, you should. Because if you have prostitutes next door, you're going to get the Johns, and then you're going to get the drugs. And it's only going to get worse. This is something you do in your own private home, not rent out some jackass's home. The neighbor said he can't start a production studio in a residential neighborhood. The guy who lives at the home, and I don't know if he owns it or rents it, Andy Bachman, CEO of a company called Creators, Inc. That's the catch-all term for everybody who does anything online. Well, they're creators. Okay. One of the company's logos is in a window. He says, I work with modern digital entrepreneurs building audiences' brands. You're working with naked women performing sex acts for lonely, sleazy guys. Wait, I love this stuff. I love it. Would you stop it? Drop the pretension. Drop the phony mumbo jumbo. Everybody knows what OnlyFans is about. Stop it. I work with modern digital entrepreneurs. And he's denying all the allegations. He says the property is not being used as a backdrop for porn. Neighbors are jumping to conclusions. I would hope these concerns are based on facts rather than assumptions. Really? Let the neighbors in to watch. Some of them might even stay and pay.
They're influencers, John.
Influencers, right? That's another good one. Well, even influencers have kind of gotten a bit of a stink on that name. So they came up with what did I say it was? Modern digital entrepreneurs. It's disgusting. Karen Bass would shut it down, except she doesn't care. It's rich people getting tortured, and she hates them. She wants you to sell and move out, and then they can turn it all over to the homeless and affordable housing. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with Royal Oaks, ABC News. Luigi Mangione's attorneys are going with the he's insane defense over the shooting of that healthcare executive. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Fire in Boyle Heights. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A cold storage warehouse burning in Boyle Heights is a roughly 490,000 square foot building operated by a company known as Lineage. The company's website says it's the world's biggest temperature controlled warehouse. Firefighters are on the scene. They say they think ammonia leaking inside is what's fueling this fire, which has been spreading across solar panels on the roof. It's sending thick black smoke into the air, which can be seen for miles. There is a shelter-in-place order in effect for the surrounding area. The news is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. A woman who lured older men with dating apps has been sentenced to 37 years in Mexico.
Aurora Phelps, a 44-year-old dual U.S.-Mexican citizen, was sentenced in Mexico for a crime known as disappearance committed by private individuals. She was originally charged with homicide in the death of 67-year-old Robert Urbach, an American retiree. Authorities say Phelps charmed older men she met on dating apps, sometimes drugged them, and drained their savings and retirement accounts. Phelps also faces a 21-count U.S. indictment and possible extradition to the U.S. The FBI is searching for more potential victims. Eileen Gonzalez, KFI News.
Riverside city manager has resigned by mutual agreement with city leaders.
Mike Futrell's on paid administrative leave until his resignation's effective July 5th. The LA Times reports this caps months of turmoil in Riverside that includes the city council accusing Futrell's wife of harassing municipal employees and her filing a government claim as precursor to a lawsuit claiming the city investigated her without due process in retaliation for her social media criticism of the Trump administration. The city's approved a settlement agreement with her behind closed doors. Futrell said his exit's part of a mutually agreed upon leadership transition. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
The man who admitted to killing 8 women on New York's Long Island decades ago has been sentenced to life in prison without parole. Suffolk County DA Ray Tierney had a message for loved ones of the women killed.
Now it's time for them to heal and to go on and realize the tremendous potential that they all have.
He says Rex Heuermann will be transferred to prison within days. The man charged with fatally shooting United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York will be putting on an affirmative psychiatric defense in the state case. Lawyers for Luigi Mangione want to argue he suffered an extreme emotional disturbance when he killed Thompson. Legal expert Brian Buckmeyer says if that's allowed at trial, it would change Mangione's sentencing.
It actually reduces the penalties that Mangione faces. He could still possibly go to jail or prison, but that's how it changes his case.
The defense has to turn over all psychiatric information to the prosecution. The Federal Reserve is leaving interest rates unchanged. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says many Fed officials are now expecting an interest rate hike later this year.
What we're looking at now is a drastically different outlook for the Fed in that at the start of this year, we were expecting interest rate cuts. Well, now the possibility looks more likely that it could be going higher.
The Fed's new chairman, Kevin Warsh, says Fed officials are committed to bringing price stability. And President Trump is again pushing for Congress to pass the voter ID measure known as the Save America Act. He says he will not sign a reauthorization of a key intelligence tool unless Congress also passes the Save America Act.
We want FISA approved, but we want the Save America Act approved. Voter ID, proof of citizenship, no mail-in ballots with exceptions.
He says they would apply to the military, people who are sick or disabled, and voters who are traveling. Southland weather from KFI, patchy drizzle in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s and 70s, metro LA, mid 70s to mid 80s in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. It's going to be windy again in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s to low 70s at the beaches, low 70s inland OC. Right now, 73 in Tustin, 64 Laguna Beach, 81 in Chatsworth, it's 76 in Van Nuys. The KFI financial update brought to you by Supershore. Supershore.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed down 507, S&P 500 down 91, and NASDAQ down 355. Crash on the 101 in the Cahuenga Pass.
This one's northbound coming up on Barham. That's where the 2 left lanes are blocked and delays are backing up all the way from the 110 freeway. We're also heading out to Lawndale, 405 northbound coming up on Inglewood Avenue. Some type of debris. It looks like it's an ice cooler in the carpool lane. So heads up for some sudden delays away from Hawthorne Boulevard and in Irvine on the 405 southbound before Culver Drive. They're clearing a crash out of the second lane from the left. And at last check, that drive is pretty slow moving away from Jamboree. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today. The next 3 years, LA will welcome the world with major events unmatched by any destination. This moment is bigger than sports. It's about the impact on our communities, businesses, and people. With the help of the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission foundational partners, Amgen, Archer Aviation, Kaiser Permanente, LA Tourism, and Metro, we're investing in the LA community and inspiring civic pride. Together, let's show the world why we love LA. To learn more about the FIFA World Cup coming this June, visit LosAngelesFWC26.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com. Would you take 15 seconds to save 15% to freshen your breath? Go to Zelmans.com and use the code SAVE. That's ZELMINS.com. Use the code SAVE for fresh, clean breath for hours.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Scott Hinchelwood, a director at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, talks about the power of live events.
We've been working with iHeart now going back to your beginning, and we have over 60 iHeart station partners out there telling our story, and it really helps drive that St. Jude mission home and share our patients and share our mission.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live events, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
for a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Welcome. John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 to 6 after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. We're live on YouTube, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show to subscribe or become a member. Past the 8,000 subscriber mark yesterday. So join us. Watch on YouTube. You can join in the chat alongside. We're going to talk to Royal Oaks now, ABC News legal analyst, Luigi Mangione. Haven't heard from him in a while. He has been awaiting the trial. He's being charged with killing that United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. This is one of those rare crimes where we all know what happened, when it happened, how it happened, because it was recorded on a security camera. He shot Thompson in the back on a sidewalk in New York City. And there's no question it's him. They tracked him down in Pennsylvania. He had the gun on him. And he is now his case is headed towards trial. And let's talk to Royal here. Royal, is this an exact insanity defense or some variation? Apparently, the attorneys are presenting an affirmative psychiatric defense, extreme emotional disturbance, they claim. What specifically is the law regarding these phrases?
Yeah, the law is kind of squishy, and that's the problem. That's why people lose confidence in the judicial system, John. So here's the guy, as you describe, everybody knows, we like to use the word allegedly, but it's on video. And so from the defense lawyer's standpoint, they're saying, oh my gosh, what can we do here? Well, when they say extreme emotional disturbance, theoretically, they could say, well, yeah, he was insane at the time. Well, the problem is insanity means you didn't know right from wrong. Good luck proving that. I mean, this guy made it very clear. He's on record writing on bullets. I hate insurance companies, taking a position about right and wrong. Insurance companies are evil. A big CEO deserves to die. And then after he shoots him, he takes off, he runs. If you didn't know right from wrong, why would you run? Why wouldn't you go to the Yankees game? So insanity is a really tough putt. Instead, what they're almost certainly going to go for, John, is, it was depression, it was suicidal tendency, PTSD, long-term abuse, or grief. And the key here is we got to kick it down from murder which is life in prison possibly in New York, down to manslaughter, which is 5 to 25 years. And the wild card is if you get a jury filled with people who kind of think about insurance companies the way Luigi Mangione did, there might be they might be receptive to the idea, well, it wasn't good what he did, but he shouldn't go away forever. Let's give him manslaughter. That's the strategy. That's the ball game.
You'll get juries who will look for any excuse to let him go because they hate health insurance companies. And they think inside their dark hearts that maybe the executive had it coming. We've seen the outpouring of that kind of attitude.
Yeah. And how sad is that to think that there would be a lot of folks in society who would be willing to excuse cold-blooded execution-style murder. Now, there is another problem for the defense, though. The first trial, you were talking about the state court trial in New York, and that starts the day after Labor Day. It's September 8th. But there's a second trial, and that's the federal case. Now, they toyed with going after him for murder in federal, but they couldn't make it work because of some technical aspects of the law. But there is a federal case going to trial in January for interstate stalking. And believe it or not, that, if he's guilty, could result in life in prison without parole. So even if he gets lucky in September, even if there's like jury nullification and they say, well, he's not guilty, not enough evidence, or, we'll give him manslaughter or even insanity, he still has to come back a few months later and face the federal charges. And there he can still try to make a mental argument, but it's harder to sell on the federal side.
A federal law, life in prison for stalking? I mean, most women can't get a stalker in their lives put away for 5 minutes.
Well, here's the explanation. You're right. It's in connection with a more serious violent crime. There is no generic murder crime on the books at the federal level. The feds say that murder is a state court thing, unless you kill somebody in Yosemite, a national park, on federal property. But if you commit a murder or other very violent crimes, terrorism, things like that, and in connection with that, you engage in interstate stalking, that gets you life in prison without parole, even though the federal count doesn't include murder. So he's got double trouble. He's got the state crime and the federal crime, but he's also got some very sharp lawyers. These are private lawyers. He was able to raise millions of dollars, John, because everybody hates the insurance companies. And so now he's got, unlike, the Nick Reiner situation where when Alan Jackson pulled out because the family decided, whoa, you're going to charge what? And now he's trying to get, Jackson back, as you know, because there's some Michelle and Rob Reiner trust money. But in the Mangione case, he's got plenty of money pouring in from people who hate insurance companies who are happy to finance private, fancy lawyers who will make all of these.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people who want to see. There's a lot of people who want to see insurance executives killed, and they want to finance the defense for the killer.
Yeah, no, that's what's going on. But again, the insanity, it means he didn't know right from wrong. It probably is not what they're going to run up the flagpole. Instead, it's going to be emotional disturbance. He knew it was wrong.
Okay, is emotional disturbance a separate defense from insanity? Or
oh yeah, totally separate thing. If you claim he didn't know right from wrong, like John Hinckley, he got off when he shot Ronald Reagan in 1981 because the jury said he is not guilty at all because of insanity. Now, that doesn't mean he goes to the beach. He went to St. Elizabeth's Mental Hospital for decades. But that's one argument. The separate argument is, we're not saying he didn't know right from wrong. He probably did. We're saying that the poor guy was just, his head was about to explode from fury and post-traumatic stress disorder. Who knows? Maybe there's evidence that he was abused as a kid. One interesting thing, John, is going to be to find out, now they're swapping medical records right now. The defense has to hand it over. Is there evidence that Mangione, in his 28 years on this planet, had all sorts of horrible psychiatric problems? Did he have treatment, diagnoses, medications? Was he in and out of hospitals and so on? Or did he have nothing? Was he just a guy who was kind of a loser and had a lot of hate in his heart and decided to shoot somebody? If the latter is true, good luck to the defense team. I mean, they may have an insurance company hating jury, but I wouldn't want to have to carry that ball on the defense team and say, oh, well, this guy, the reason he shot was this emotional disturbance, when for 28 years, he was living a good life and had no psychiatric problem.
All right, one more question, and then I got to go. You mentioned a couple of times possibility of a manslaughter charge that the defense attorneys would be angling for. Is that part of the menu of charges that the prosecution is offering, or is this something that could be negotiated in a plea bargain? Is there a manslaughter option that's going to be presented to the jury?
Right. The prosecution is only going for the big one, murder. But the judge could, during the trial, say, there is evidence that the jury could use to say manslaughter. And so it might be an option for the jury. And as for a plea deal, that's possible at any time. You can cut a deal before, during, or after the trial.
So this is something the judge would insert, a manslaughter charge.
And the defense would ask during the trial. They say, Your Honor, clearly the evidence establishes that manslaughter is the only appropriate guilty verdict. So how about giving that as an option to the jury, Your Honor? And the judge just might do it.
All right. Very good. Royal Oaks, thank you. Good stuff. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst on Luigi Mangione's attorneys. Gonna invoke some kind of he was crazy defense. When we come back, we played some Nithya Raman clips yesterday from her interview with Channel 5. We got another clip to play for you. It looks like this proud Defund the Police girl wants to hire more police. And Eric Spillman tries to get her to square her two opposing opinions. This is entertaining. Deborah Mark, live, KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A shelter-in-place order has been issued due to that fire burning at a cold storage facility in Boyle Heights. A former firefighters union official has been busted for allegedly stealing thousands of dollars. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 5 next.
Lasting Smiles dental implants. This summer, you're going to have to smile a lot. You're going to be meeting a lot of people. You need the Lasting Smiles Summer Smile Special if you have rotten, decayed, missing, damaged, discolored, awful teeth. No one's going to want to look at that. You get a free comprehensive dental exam at Lasting Smiles, full 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan, payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. Mention KFI or John and get the Summer Smile Special. LastingSmiles.com. Call 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 5 in Elysian Park.
This one's on the southbound side, right at the 2, and that's where a crash is being cleared out of lanes. Looks like we're seeing quite the backup for the 5 southbound, which is looks like it's pushing back out of Griffith Park from just about Colorado. The northbound side of the 5. Also, overall delays backing up out of Commerce. This is getting away from Slauson Avenue as you travel all the way back towards just about Colorado as well. Now, the 101 southbound, I'm seeing delays here that are loading up out of Calabasas all the way from Lost Hills, delays in stretches to the 170, 134 split, and ahead in Hollywood from Sunset into downtown Los Angeles. Pasadena loads up 210 eastbound from Mountain all the way to Foothill Boulevard. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Celebrate this Father's Day at the ballpark Sunday, June 21st as the Dodgers take on the Orioles. The first 40,000 fans will receive an exclusive Father's Day t-shirt presented by Uniqlo. Grab your tickets by visiting Dodgers.com/promotions.
Car keeps going back to the dealership for the same problem? You may qualify for a refund or replacement under California Lemon Law. Visit lemonwins.com to see if your car qualifies. That's lemonwins.com.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports. Presented by Capital One. Serena and Venus Williams will compete together at Wimbledon again after receiving a doubles wildcard invitation. The sisters, now 44 and 46 years old respectively, have won a combined 21 titles at the All England Club in their singles and doubles careers. They last won a doubles title together there back in 2016. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X Business Card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem Blue Cross and Chicas Verdes are helping students throughout Los Angeles learn how to grow and prepare their own healthy food. They're joined by Sparks and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/Sparks. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Think back. All those times you questioned everything and wondered why you didn't trust yourself. What if those thoughts could be eliminated? Truth is, those thoughts come from a hidden part of your mind. At a Dianetics seminar, you'll learn and apply powerful techniques to address the hidden source of your stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. It's hands-on, and you'll put the tools to work immediately. In just one weekend, you'll discover exactly how the mind works and increase your happiness and restore trust in yourself. A single weekend can change everything. Register today and take charge of your mental health. Go to Dianetics.org/seminar. That's Dianetics.org/seminar.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
Termites are one of those things we tend to put off. E. coli is here to protect your most expensive investment, your home, your family, and the environment. You might have heard of Sue Fries, the termite lady. She's the owner of E. coli Termite and Pest Control. Now, they've been protecting Southern California homes for more than 40 years. So if you have a termite problem, that's who you want in your corner. E. coli offers eco-friendly treatments that are tough on termites, but gentle on kids, pets, and anyone who's sensitive to chemicals. And if you're not planning on selling your house, they'll come out and inspect your home for free. And with all the heat we've had over this last month here in Southern California, it's perfect breeding grounds for termites. E. coli has been recognized as one of the top pest control companies in North America by Pest Control Technology magazine. So if you suspect a termite problem, you must act fast. So call E. coli at 1-800-332-BUGS. 1-800-332-2847. 1-800-332-BUGS.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at 844-844-iHeart.
Joy is essential and it's also elusive. But now there's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Joy 101. It's a new podcast hosted by me, Hoda Kotb. If you're craving inspiration to maximize your joy, tune into these candid, uplifting, and moving on-air chats. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Joy 101, and listen now. Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb is presented by CBS.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
English star Harry Kane scores twice to lead England to the 4-2 win over Croatia.
There he is again, Harry Kane. England back in front.
Kane's 2 goals ties him for the most World Cup goals in English soccer history. Earlier in the day, Portugal settled for a 1-1 draw with DR Congo. It's the first time Congo has ever earned a point at the World Cup.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
The next time you go to the zoo, look around.
Does it look like a world-class zoo in a world-class city?
A grand jury says it's time to bring in new leadership to clean it up.
Who will be the new king of the jungle? Tomorrow, Monks and Merrill, on air and online, the iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app. Moist line 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86. So use the TalkBack feature in the iHeartRadio app or go on YouTube right now. We're live. YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We got a message for Deborah. Somebody actually paid. Yes. Terry Windsor, 1310, $5 on a super chat message. Hi, Deborah.
Terry? Is that Terry? Did you say?
Yeah.
Hi, Terry.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
For $5, he wants more than that.
Oh, I'm very expensive.
Deborah is opening her own OnlyFans channel.
Oh, yeah, right. John. God.
I told you should, though.
Yeah.
And just give
Encino's not that far from Woodland Hills.
No, that's
you
true.
can just go down the road and it could be some kind of vegan information.
Oh, they have
service
that on
provide.
OnlyFans?
Well,
Really?
you could be the first.
Clothed?
Yeah, clothed vegans.
I'm going to trademark that.
Naked men, clothed vegans.
There you go.
Watch what the YouTube comments say now.
Well, you know something? I bet you that would be a hit. It'd be a big hit. All right, let's go to Nithya Raman, who appeared Really good interview. Jessica Holmes and Eric Spillman did of Nithya Raman. Now, yesterday we played a clip where she was fumphering around as to why she decided to run for mayor. Oh, by the way, she is officially the illegal, illegitimate mayoral candidate. All right. All these extra homeless votes, they almost all went for her. Okay. So this is a scam election. She is the scam candidate. So now she's trying to rehabilitate her image because she shouldn't be there. There's no question she shouldn't be there. So Raman goes on Channel 5, and yesterday he's blubbering around because they said it's why did you run against Bass? You were supporting her. Well, I was worried about my children. You know, what kind of Los Angeles are they going to live in as they grow older? And it had to be pointed out that she constantly votes against every single time a council member wants a homeless encampment removed from a school, she votes no. In fact, she famously said in public, and I believe they played the clip, where there's no difference than between 10 feet and 500 feet. And everybody started booing her, and she rolls her eyes. She's a condescending, insensitive whack job. I don't care about other people's kids. Well, my kids will be living in Los Angeles, so I have to run for mayor to do something about it for them. Another thing, she used to be a defund the police girl. Said it clearly, posted it clearly back in 2020. You know, the summer of love. Listen to Raman now explaining to Eric Spillman and Jessica Holmes at KTLA how she really feels about the police today.
You did say defund the police when you were running.
But I voted for budgets that have supported maintaining and even expanding our police force. And what I would say right now is that we have a public safety system that is not working for Angelenos. And as mayor, I want to fix that. We have now a system where armed officers are slow to arrive when people need them, and situations like what happened in Canoga Park yesterday, where armed officers showed up in response to a call for service.
Stop this a second. The reason they're slow is because there are not enough cops. Because you were screaming defund the police. You were part of the crowd that said there were a bunch of hateful racists, and they started retiring in droves, rather than be sitting ducks for the crazies you unleashed with all your ugly, hateful rhetoric. So that's why we're short of police. And then you did defund them under Garcetti, and there wasn't enough money to rehire new cops. Okay, I mean, you're just so full of it. You wanted the police gone, so a lot of them left, and now you're stuck with more criminals running around your neighborhood, and you're worried about your children. Play some more.
Like what happened in Canoga Park yesterday, where armed officers showed up in response to a call for service and ended up tragically shooting a family dog during a joyful celebration around a Knicks win. And I think both of these outcomes are call for change here in the city of Los Angeles.
So what does that mean, though? I mean, does that mean, would you have fewer officers? I mean, we're losing officers. The chief has come here a bunch of times, and he says, look, we're losing through attrition.
Yes.
And yet in January, you voted not to hire 170 police officers, 170 more. I mean, they're retiring. The department is there's fewer officers.
I think we need to have realistic strategies to maintain the size of our police force. And that's what
Stop a second. When he said, what do you mean? She is incoherent. Try to decipher what she's talking about. We don't have enough cops. Well, you voted not to hire another 170. Like, she makes no sense when she talks. She's another like Kamala Harris. It is just word salad. It's just words tossed into the air. Grab him and reorder them. Put him into a sentence yourself. She can't. Oh, my God, we're going to have to listen to this dummy now for 4 years? Play some more.
Officers.
I think we need to have realistic strategies to maintain the size of our police force, and that's what I've called for every single time. What this mayor has done is give unsustainably large increases to LAPD with the failed promise that we're going to expand and maintain our police force.
All right, wait, stop. So now they're paid too much. You had to spend more money because there's so few officers. Nobody wants to be an LAPD officer. So you have to raise the money. You did that because you drove out so many of the old cops. Play some more.
unsustainably large increases to LAPD with the failed promise that we're going to expand and maintain our police force. And what we're seeing now is a city budget that can barely provide the services that Angelenos need, and a city budget
give
where
it to
we're
the
paying
homeless.
$500 million more per year for 1,500 fewer officers than we were before. That to me is not a good public safety outcome. What I want to deliver is an outcome where you have a true public safety response, that when you call for help, 911 picks up quickly, armed officers show up when you need them.
Stop it. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
A shelter-in-place order is now in effect for neighborhoods around a fire burning at a massive cold storage facility in Boyle Heights. The building, owned by the Lineage Company, is on South Los Palos Street. LA Fire Department crews say solar powers on the roof of the warehouse are burning, and an ammonia leak inside the building is fueling things. Thick black smoke is billowing into the air, and the LA Fire Department is using water-dropping helicopters to help snuff out the fire on the roof. The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite. San Diego State Assemblyman Carl DeMaio says he wants law enforcement agencies to open an investigation into whether Governor Newsom has improperly used taxpayer funds to defend himself in a Justice Department investigation. He told John earlier today Newsom and his wife are allegedly being investigated for their personal conduct, not actions they took in their government roles.
This is a criminal matter. This is a personal issue, not a professional issue. They're going after him because they think he broke, in a personal capacity, federal law.
He says it is illegal for Newsom to use taxpayer-funded staff and resources to defend a criminal investigation into his personal matters. A former firefighters union official has been busted for allegedly stealing nearly $83,000.
Adam Walker, ex-secretary of United Firefighters of Los Angeles City and chairman of its nonprofit foundation, faces felony charges of grand theft and forgery. Prosecutors say he moved foundation money into his own bank account and used it for personal expenses and online gambling, then tried to hide it by fabricating credit card reimbursements and forging receipts. State AG Rob Bonta.
When someone entrusted with managing those resources uses them for personal gain, that trust erodes and is undermined.
Walker denied it and told the LA Times the money was reimbursement for out-of-pocket expenses. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
LA parks could get a major funding boost.
LA voters may decide this November whether to increase the minimum amount of city funding dedicated to parks by 50%. The proposal would add about $175 million annually to the Department of Recreation and Parks by 2030, helping address aging facilities, broken infrastructure, and maintenance backlogs. Supporters say the city's parks are badly underfunded, while budget officials warn the plan could worsen LA's financial deficit since it does not include a new revenue source. The city council is expected to decide Wednesday whether to place the measure on the November ballot. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
President Trump says he has signed the memorandum of understanding negotiated with Iran. He confirmed it to reporters while exiting a dinner at the Versailles Palace in France with President Macron to wrap up the G7 summit. The White House says that the memorandum is now in effect. The 14-point document spells out provisions for reopening the Strait of Hormuz, easing certain financial restrictions on Iran, and sets out expectations for addressing Iran's nuclear program during future talks. And internet dating is going to the dogs and their owners.
When it comes to pets, there are two kinds of humans, pet parents and dog owners. Now the former can find true love with someone who also truly loves their canines right on their phone. There are a number of new apps, from Dig, the dog person's dating app, to Fetch a Date, to Nuzzle. They'll help you find the most convenient park or dog-friendly coffee shop for that important first meeting. And if things work out, you can check out a list of canine-approved vacation spots. All require photos of the human and the dog to prevent catfishing. In New York, I'm Daria Albinger.
We're going to the 5 next.
Summer's heating up, but your wallet doesn't have to. Right now, in the month of June, American Vision Windows is offering no interest, no payments for 2 summers on new windows and doors. That's right. You pay nothing until 2028, which isn't going to happen anyway. New windows don't just help you beat the heat. They lock in comfort year-round. They lower your energy bills, and they give your home a stunning upgrade that your neighbors will notice. American Vision Windows is 100% employee-owned. Every person on your project has a personal stake in you getting it right. And, well, in the company getting it right for you. I'm sounding like Nithya Raman all of a sudden. After 25 years and over 1 million windows installed, that accountability has made them the most trusted name in window replacement. Most jobs are done in a day, beautiful new windows by evening, 0 payments until 2028, like I said. The offer ends June 30th. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see the website for details. Go to AmericanVisionWindows.com. Call 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
Southland weather from KFI. Patchy drizzle in the morning. Then partly cloudy, highs upper 60s and 70s, metro LA. Mid 70s to mid 80s in the valleys, the high desert and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s to low 70s for the beaches, low 70s inland OC. Right now, 71 in San Juan Capistrano and 72 in Staten. Slow on the 5 in La Mirada.
It's that northbound side that loads up right around Valley View. Delays continue in stretches as you travel all the way to the 14 freeway. Making that 14 North connection, well, I've seen it worse, but it's pretty busy right now. From the 5, you remain on the brakes in stretches all the way to Soledad Canyon Road and then ahead into the Acton area. Seeing some more slowing from Escondido Canyon as you make your way towards Sierra Highway. Now, it's a tough drive in the Cajon Pass. This is the 15 northbound, leaving Glen Helen all the way to the 138. Even the southbound side of the 15 slows out of the high desert from Highway 395 as you continue back towards Cleghorn. And it's tough in Rubidoux, East 60. Delays filling in at Rubidoux Boulevard, and they continue all the way to Day Street in Moreno Valley. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet recommended fresh dog food. Made right here in LA.
There's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Listen to Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Friends and family are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help. In those moments, life can feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Or like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations. Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you can support the veteran in your life at maketheconnection.net.
They say time heals all wounds. The accident attorneys at Sweet James know that's only partly true. When you're hurt in an accident, you should know the legal system is rigged. You need someone who knows that system inside and out with the level of experience and care to fight for you when the billion-dollar insurance companies refuse to help. Don't fight alone. Your attorneys at Sweet James will walk beside you and tell your story and make them listen. They deliver results that send the insurance companies a message and help you get the maximum compensation and the justice you deserve. You call 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-MILLION. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, call your accident attorneys at Sweet James. You pay no costs or fees until they win. They have an office in Los Angeles. The number again is 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-9-000-000, or go to sweetjames.com.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST Medical.
This is Jacob Emrani. When you need help after an accident, I'm here for you.
Accident or injury, call Jacob Emrani. Call Jacob.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Gearing up for summer travel? Then it's time to put that old car in your driveway to good use. Hey, it's Conway, and here's the deal. Donate your car to Cars for Kids in just 2 minutes. Go to carsforkids.org or phone them up, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K. Any condition, they'll take it and tow it for free. You'll get a tax deduction, a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay to use this summer. 2 minutes, free pickup, and a free vacation? Wow. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org or Call 1-877-CAUSE for kids. That's cars with a K.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
Support teens and young adults battling cancer by attending this year's Rockin' Polo, Saturday, June 20th, benefiting Teen Cancer America. It all happens at Will Rogers Polo Club in the Pacific Palisades. Enjoy delicious food, cocktails, live DJ, silent auction, get dressed up and get ready for the Divot Stomp, and more. Plus, a live acoustic performance by longtime supporters Billy Idol and Steve Stevens. Saturday, June 20th from 12:30 to 5:30. Details and tickets at teencanceramerica.org.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Hey, it's the John Kobylt Show. We're on every day from 3 to 6. After 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. We're live on YouTube right now, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show to subscribe, become a member. 5 o'clock, we're going to have Susan Crabtree on with realclearpolitics.com. Also wrote a book called Fool's Gold, and a lot of it was on Gavin Newsom and all his financial improprieties. She's written another story since Newsom put himself in play and told the world he and Jennifer are getting investigated. Now, he didn't mention what they're getting investigated over, so everybody else is filling in the gaps. And everybody's having a field day looking through his financial chicanery all these years, and there's a lot of it. In fact, we spent much of the first hour on it. You should listen to it because his corruption is so overwhelming. It's hard to believe, except California legalized this corruption. They legalized this bribery. We'll do more with Susan Crabtree coming up. We had Carl DeMaio on about an hour ago, and he was upset that Newsom is using California taxpayer money to fight his private legal battle with the Department of Justice, because it's not a public issue in terms of he's being charged or he's being investigated for crimes he may have committed while doing his job as governor. This is his private issues, like his income tax returns, which centers on Jennifer Newsom's web of nonprofits and for-profit companies and the $4 million that she might have run off with. But he co-signs. They filed jointly on those tax returns. So he's in on this too, even if the target is just her. And I suspect that the target goes in many directions. But Carl also has another issue. And I so desperately wish people in the state would vote differently, because the climate change obsession continues. And now Carl says that California Democrats have legislation to control Apple Maps and Google Maps on your phone to dictate which commute you should take to try to help heal the climate. I'm not making this up. Play cut number 4.
California State Assembly member Carl DeMaio here with yet another bad bill alert in the state capitol. The politicians want to pass a bill, and even believe that they're trying to do this, to regulate and manipulate Apple Maps, Google Maps, or whatever software you use to plot out your commute. What business is it of government what route you take? Well, a lot of them are saying that they need to protect the environment. What it means is that your commute's going to take longer. Literally, they're going to probably tell your map software, well, make sure we fight climate change, so let's add 30 minutes to the commute. This is absurd. Let's let technology figure out where the congestion is and get us from point A to point B as fast as possible. It doesn't take manipulation by government. Government's only going to screw it up. So tell government, stay away from my commute, stay out of my map software. Let's not pass this bad bill. Contact your legislators.
Do you believe this?
Out!
Now your Google Maps app is going to be overridden by the government if you're taking a route that they don't consider climate friendly? And what would that be? How would they determine that? And if it adds time to your commute, that is climate unfriendly, because now you're out there for another half hour spewing more of those greenhouse gases into the air. When does this stop? Who thinks of this? What is a climate-friendly commute? The purpose of the app is to get you there the quickest. If you get there quickly, by definition, it's the most climate-friendly if you believe in this nonsense. I don't understand this. He says the risk is in the future they can designate areas as high pollution zones and try to stop people from being navigated to those zones. In fact, they could send you wherever they want. Well, I'm not going to use the app. I'll go back to a paper map. They're insane. This is well beyond a nanny state. This is well beyond like George Orwell. I mean, what the hell? They actually wrote this. Doesn't Google have enough money to bribe the legislature to get their stupid paws out of the traffic apps? What an overbearing, obnoxious, offensive environment. Would you please vote differently? Would you please stop electing these mental patients? How about a bill creating a huge mental hospital in the desert and send the entire legislature, the Senate, the Assembly, the governor and the lieutenant governor and all the rest of them into this mental institution and lock them up in the desert without air conditioning? The government's going to take over your phone. It's going to take over your traffic app. It's AB 2015. Go have at it. More coming up. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A shelter-in-place order has been issued due to that fire that's burning at a cold storage facility in Boyle Heights. And President Trump has signed that memorandum of understanding that's been negotiated with Iran. We'll have more at the top of the hour. We are going to go check the freeways next.
Lasting Smiles dental implants this summer. How many people are you going to be meeting this summer, huh? How much fun are you going to have going to barbecues and parties, a vacation, and you're going to meet old friends, and you're going to smile at them, and they're going to say, please leave. We can't look at that. I can't eat because your teeth are all rotted, decayed, and foul. They're not going to want you in the pictures. Lasting Smiles Summer Smile Special. You go there with your rotted, decayed teeth, and you'll get a free comprehensive dental exam, full 3D imaging, custom treatment plan, and payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. Yeah, you can do $149 a month to get a beautiful smile. Mention KFI or John. LastingSmiles.com. You get the deal. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE. 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Highs upper 60s to mid 80s. This report brought to you by Whole Foods Market. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Slow on the 101 in Calabasas.
It's the southbound side that fills in, leaving Lost Hills, and that's a heavy drive all the way into downtown Los Angeles. You've got a couple of pockets of go through the Cahuenga Pass, but it's mostly slow. It's also tough on that northbound side of the 101. This is slowing down away from Melrose out of Hollywood. Delays continue all the way to White Oak and Encino. Tough on the 5. This is northbound out of La Mirada, leaving Valley View. Delays and stretches all the way to the 14 freeway. And we're also looking at the drive in Corona, South 15, leaving the 91, looking better past Wyrick Road. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Friday, June 19th, Nashville becomes Bashville. It's the debut of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in Tennessee. Watch Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship OG Tony Loco Soto fight JC DeLeon, a warrior hungry to build his name at Loco's expense. Plus, see rising sensation, the leader of the Rivera era, Nate Rivera, throw down bare knuckle style with the always ready Trey Martin. Watch the world's most exciting combat sport live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
Save on organics at Whole Foods Market. Get organic red cherries for $4.99 per pound with Prime through June 23rd. Top your yogurt bowls or make a delicious summer cobbler. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. Listen to me, Ellen Kay, Ryan Mano, and therapist Sarah Dash on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
The great part about being a dad is the ability to fall asleep in my chaise lounge in Oasis. And now the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Flamingo Fridays at Oasis Pool. The hottest beats, live DJ, and the coolest drinks in SoCal. If you know, you know.
Number 4.
Soccer watch party at Sideline. Saturday the 20th. Big screens, lots of food, Adidas giveaway, and Av Alta players. Go!
3.
Poolside playback. Catch tribute band Classic Journey the 25th. Free for Morongo Rewards members.
And the number 2.
A free bucket cap for dad. Pick it up with your rewards card starting at 8 a.m. the 21st. Then head over to Father's Day Bingo to win a share of over $25,000.
And the number 1 reason.
Win dad a Corvette Stingray in our Star Stripes and Sizzle giveaway. Be there the 28th for 3 chances to win.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
Years of early mornings, every weekend, every holiday, all for one dream, to play on the LPGA Tour. She finally turned pro. Now, she just needs a stage worthy of her talent. Next Golf is that stage, a professional women's tour in Florida built to give these athletes the runway they've earned. Support her journey at nextgolf.com/support. That's nxxtgolf.com. Play it forward.
The first Top Shelf Country Cruise showed out. The bar's set at exceptional. Don't miss the second sailing in March 2027 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Summit, departing from Tampa with stops in Bimini, Key West, and Cozumel. Plus, performances from some of your favorite country artists, including Riley Green, Chris Young, Lauren Elena, and Randy Houser. Our price guarantee locks in your best deal the moment you book. No surprises. Don't settle for anything less than Top Shelf. Reserve your cabin at TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Wake Up Call with Amy King.
KFI Radio, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Amy King with KFI's Wake Up Call. How do you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
The Eagle has landed, and its name is Amy King.
Wake Up Call with Amy King. Live 5 to 6 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of the FIFA World Cup 2026
live.
Magical. Just open the free app and search World Cup. Plus, tap the highlights tab to catch up on anything you missed. Lock in your preset now.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, have you ever heard of ambient listening technology? More and more health professionals are using it. Maybe your visits are being recorded without your knowledge. My shrink turns on the tape recorder when she calls me a worm. That's coming up tomorrow morning after 7 o'clock on the next Bill Handel Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're going to have Susan Crabtree come on with us. Her book, Fool's Gold, chronicled a lot of these Newsom shenanigans a couple of years ago. And she's got a piece in realclearpolitics.com entitled The Newsoms, the Nonprofits, and the Federal Questions. We told you before that Gavin Newsom has shaken down corporations and rich people for about $350 million in the last 16 years. He tells them to donate money to various charities and nonprofits, including his wife's feminist film nonsense, and they do. And they get benefits. They get government contracts. They don't get bad legislation. PG&E gets bailed out for killing people in the Paradise Fire. Works. It's what the mobsters do. And in California, all that's legal. Well, Susan Crabtree is going to talk about it with us. And by the way, our 3 o'clock hour, we detailed a lot of this. So listen to hour 1 in the podcast. Quickly, California insurance premiums, because you will not vote differently, insurance premiums for your home are going to go up 16%. this year, 16%, 5 times the increase in that Florida and Texas will experience. Those two states are run properly. Florida and Texas, big states, lots of people there, lots of natural disasters in Florida. Insurance here going up 16%, 5 times. Texas, their insurance prices are going up by 3%, Florida by 2%. New York is flat, no increase. New York is a high-tax, left-wing, crowded state, especially in the city. Maine going down 1%. There you go. That's what you get when you have corrupt progressives, not just progressives. They have those in New York. Here, and they're corrupt, but here, it's mind-boggling how corrupt. 16%. And now, this is a story about one of the worst odors I have ever inhaled. I don't know if you'd agree or not. This is the one odor that, if it occurs here at the station, makes me absolutely insane.
Oh, what, broccoli?
No, not broccoli. Is set. Your broccoli. Yeah, I should put an asterisk. This is excluding all the weird vegan food that you eat in there.
Fish in the microwave?
You've got it. That's right.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yes. And a cop in Florida, in Myrtle Beach, heated up fish in the microwave.
Send him to jail.
He almost got worse than jail. It created such a stink that a detective drew his weapon and pointed it at the police officer.
Oh, God.
Michael DeBiase was at police headquarters at Myrtle Beach over the weekend. He got into a dispute with another cop. He confronted the cop about warming up fish in the microwave. He didn't like the stink. And he pulled the gun. And he was arrested for pointing and presenting a firearm at an officer. And they booked him in jail. It does not say what kind of fish was being microwaved.
Doesn't matter.
Microwaving any fish should be a criminal offense.
Okay, well, you won't have to worry about me doing that.
Yeah, I am grateful that because if you were into fish, because I know somebody who calls themselves a pescatarian. You've heard of that?
Yeah, of course.
It's another offshoot of your cult. And pescatarians eat fish, but not meat. Yeah. But if you were a pescatarian, you were microwaving fish.
Yeah.
Well, that would be it.
Okay. Well,
You'd be deported.
Okay.
That is
good thing we don't have to worry about that, John.
I don't know who it is. This happens maybe once a year. Somebody microwaves a fish, and I'll find you next time.
And what are you going to do?
You don't want to find out.
Not me, the offender.
I don't know what fish it was. They identified several policy violations that DiBiase had committed in addition to pulling a gun. I think he was perfectly within his rights to pull a gun on the guy. The other guy's lucky that the trigger wasn't pulled, okay? I'm not advocating the death penalty for microwaving a fish, but why chance this, okay? Don't upset people. Microwaving fish. Fish burritos. I think that's what they sell in one of those disgusting vending machines. And people get food, frozen, processed, preservative-laden food from a vending machine.
You don't eat anything with preservatives?
I don't eat anything from vending machines, no.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
Okay. Not even pretzels?
Pretzels?
You said, I don't eat anything from a vending machine. I'm taking you
No,
at your
actually, I
word.
never use those vending machines for a drink occasionally. That's it.
Okay.
No food. No cooked food. No.
I agree with you on that point.
Ugh, disgusting. I don't want to smell that. I mean, I have rights too.
Yes, you do.
Now, when we come back, we're going to have Susan Crabtree on. And she's been studying the Newsom crime family for quite a while. The former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, pleaded guilty last month to felonies. She was involved in stealing money from Javier Becerra's political account, along with Becerra's chief of staff. I told you the place is run by criminals. The place is run by criminals. We'll have Susan Crabtree on. Next, Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Storage facility fire. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A shelter-in-place order has been issued for areas around a massive cold storage warehouse, which is on fire in Boyle Heights. The fire, which is burning mainly on solar panels on the roof, started around 2:30 this afternoon. LA City Fire Chief Jamie Moore says leaking ammonia inside the building is why a shelter-in-place has been called.
Now, this ammonia is not toxic to individuals unless they have respiratory issues or they're in direct contact with the ammonia.
The 490,000 square foot warehouse is owned by the Lineage Company, is on South Los Palos Street in Boyle Heights. A behavioral analyst specializing in arsonists has told a federal jury frustration and anger drove Jonathan Rinderknecht to set the Lockman fire on New Year's Eve in 2025. Expert witness Kevin Kelm, a former special agent with the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, says societal revenge and excitement compelled Rinderknecht to set the fire, which officials claim smoldered underground for a week before becoming the Palisades fire. Rinderknecht, a dual French and U.S. citizen, faces up to 45 years in prison if he is found guilty of arson charges. The news is brought to you by Sellers Advantage. 2 men from Lancaster are among the 8 people killed in Monday's crash of a B-52 bomber at Edwards Air Force Base. The Air Force has released the names of all of those killed, and they include Major Alexander Davis, a weapon systems officer with the 419th Flight Test Squadron, and Christopher Richard, a flight test engineer. The FBI says agents are looking for more people who may have been involved in that alleged plot on the White House UFC event. ABC's Alex Malin says the FBI thinks there could be as many as 23 others involved.
A mother of a 19-year-old suspect charged in these cases called because she was so concerned about him amassing all of these weapons and the concerning conversations that he was having online.
That led the FBI to get a confession from him and arrest 5 people, including 2 people from the Inland Empire. Neighbors say their quiet Encino Street has become a nonstop spectacle.
Residents on Weddington Street are complaining about a home they believe is being used as a content creation business that includes sexually explicit videos.
Scantily clad women, almost half naked. We've seen people smoking marijuana in front of our homes.
The homeowner, Andy Bachman, tells KTLA he denies the allegations.
I work with modern digital entrepreneurs building audiences, brands, products, and businesses across all different platforms.
Neighbors claim the property violates zoning rules and was even part of a swatting call, but so far no enforcement action has been taken. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
A judge in New York says lawyers for accused killer Luigi Mangione plan to present an affirmative psychiatric defense at his state trial. They claim he was suffering from an extreme emotional disturbance when he killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Manhattan. The attorneys have been ordered to turn over Mangione's psychiatric records to prosecutors immediately. President Trump says the agreement with Iran has everything the U.S. set out to accomplish. He added that global leaders are thrilled with the deal.
And it's a memorandum of understanding. If it doesn't get done in 60 days, that's all right. We go back to bombing. I don't want to do that because it's so good. But we might have to because we're never going to let them have a nuclear weapon.
Trump has digitally signed the agreement, which calls for negotiations to continue for 60 days to reach a final agreement to end the war. And Florida has moved all of its immigration detainees out of so-called alligator Alcatraz. ICE officials announced yesterday that everyone being held at the Everglades Detention Center had been transferred to other facilities as a precaution going into hurricane season. Southland weather from KFI, patchy drizzle in the morning, then partly cloudy with highs upper 60s and 70s. Metro LA, mid-70s to mid-80s in the valleys, the high desert and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s to low 70s at the beaches, low 70s inland OC. Right now, 71 in Dana Point, 72 in Anaheim, 74 Diamond Bar, and 73 in Simi Valley. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by Supershore. Supershore.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed down 507. S&P 500 down 91. NASDAQ down 355. Stall on the 134 Griffith Park.
This one's on the eastbound side coming up on Forest Lawn Drive. Left lane has been blocked. Delays away from Buena Vista. Also in Elysian Park. On the 5 southbound, make that the 5 northbound before 7th Street. Second lane from the left is blocked due to a stall with a backup leaving the 101. But you know what? That 5 northbound overall slowing. It's worse than that. I'm seeing delays all the way out of Commerce, getting away from... we're going to back it up even more. Out of Norwalk from Imperial Highway, it's tough. Now, the drive on the 210 westbound, overall slowing starts in Arcadia from Santa Anita Avenue. Delays to the 134, and you're on the brakes ahead in La Cañada from Foothill Boulevard as you continue and stretches all the way to Hubbard Street. Also in the Cajon Pass, that 15 northbound loading up at Glen Helen Parkway to the 138. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
What if your checking worked as hard as you do? At Premier America Credit Union, we partner with you through every financial goal. With Premier Plus checking, earn 3.5% APY just by using your account for everyday purchases, coffee runs, game nights, even that last-minute dinner out. So why not make your money work while you spend it? Open yours today at premieramerica.com. Don't settle. Earn more with Premier America Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms apply.
Ellen K's Therapy Thursday is a podcast. The stories are real, the drama is messy, and the advice is life-changing. Catch it now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts. Ellen K's Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
Clean out your closet, donate your clothes, and earn rewards with Trashy. Send your clothes somewhere better and get cash back on every bag. Get unlimited take-back bags all year for just $48. Trashy. Clean out, donate, earn.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
For a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One. Now, your chance to win $2,500. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Travel. That's travel. Enter it now.
KFI AM 640.
And our radio station. Guaranteed human.
Can't buy AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. It's the John Kobylt Show, and we are on live every day from 3 to 6 on KFI. You can hear us streaming on the iHeart app. You can listen to the podcast on the iHeart app after 6 o'clock, and you can watch us live on YouTube. YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. YouTube.com/@John Kobylt Show. Subscribe. Become a member by going to that place. And we passed 8,000 subscribers yesterday, headed for 10. I want to get right to Susan Crabtree because there's so much to discuss. Susan's been on our show before. She wrote a great book back in March of 2025. Susan Crabtree and Jed McFadder, a book called Fool's Gold: The Radicals, Con Artists, and Traitors Who Killed the California Dream and Now Threaten Us All. Featured prominently in the story is Gavin Newsom. And now Susan Crabtree is writing stories at realclearpolitics.com about Newsom getting investigated by the federal government, along with his wife. And Dana Williamson, the former chief of staff for Newsom, has already pled guilty to felonies. She and 2 other people were stealing money from Javier Becerra's political account, including Becerra's chief of staff. It's quite a sore that they've crawled out of. Newsom went public, as you know, and told the world this week that he's getting investigated, but he didn't say what. And Susan Crabtree, among other independent journalists, are busy filling in the blanks with what they think this might be about. Susan, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks so much for having me on, John. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. So what do you think is going on here? Have you heard anything, know anything, or is it kind of obvious to you based on what you've already researched?
Well, it's funny to me that all of a sudden there's this great interest in Gavin Newsom's wife's nonprofits which we are one of the first people to really scrutinize in our book, Fool's Gold. These nonprofits that she has are quite interesting. She has made nearly $4 million from them. She's taking a salary. And of course, they have business before the state, all of her donors. And Gavin Newsom, you're very well aware of this weird thing we have in California, legalized shakedowns that are behested payments. That's what we like to call them in California because it sounds much nicer than legalized shakedowns. But what they are is, Gavin Newsom says, hey, great moneyed tribe, Indian tribe, we would love for you to donate to my wife's gender justice documentary charity. And the tribe donates more than $1 million. And then all of a sudden, Gavin Newsom is sending a letter to the Biden administration opposing their competitor, smaller tribes, creation of a casino. He's sending that letter to the Interior Department. In that particular case, the Interior Department said, heck no, Gavin Newsom, even though it was Biden. I wonder if Jim Biden, who also represents casinos, was representing the smaller casino. But, this is where we are in California. You got PG&E, you've got Kaiser Permanente, you've got all kinds of moneyed interests, corporate interests that are at Gavin Newsom. They're just opening their pockets to Gavin Newsom's wife's charity at his so-called bequest.
And she has, because I've been trying to follow the stories and look at the charts, she has a nonprofit and she has a for-profit company, and they launder money from the nonprofit into the for-profit. She gets a salary for the nonprofit, and then she gets profits sent to her as well from the second company. And it totals up to $4 million. And this all originates as tax money, does it not? If it's behesting from the companies, but there's also tax money involved because they arm twist the schools into running these films for a license fee.
Yes, and I have a open records request into the governor's office right now. They asked for a 14-day extension. But yes, what I want to know is just exactly how much she's charging. I'm hearing it's anywhere from $500 to $1,500 per school, and that she has, we reported this in the book, we were the first to report this, 5,000 schools across the nation that have paid her this screening fee. Now, is it a mandate? Did the education department pressure the public schools in California to run these gender justice films? I mean, these films are troubling with their content, to say the least. One of them, they're all about promoting transgenderism, the fact that you were born in the wrong gender, you were misgendered, the mask you live in. And even Gavin Newsom has used that phrase in describing his own experience in his book, Man in a Hurry, Boy in a Hurry, that he was living in the wrong mask and he had all these expectations about it. And that's why he screwed up so many times and had an affair with his best friend's wife.
He was wearing a mask?
An alcoholic. Yeah, it was just it was society's pressure and, toxic masculinity. She even has one about the Great American Lie, it's called. And you could actually, John, you could host a screening in your house if you'd like to help benefit, this representation project that Gavin Newsom's wife is running. But the real issue is the taxes, right? That's what they get you for when they're going after the mafia, right? So this is what we're hearing, and sources are telling me that she didn't file her taxes on all that $4 million profit she made appropriately. We'll see.
They have been so public about him wanting to be president, like it was his destiny since birth. And you'd think people like that would be exceedingly careful because you have a big target. I mean, the media here in California is always giving him a great big wet tongue bath all day. But you go outside of California and the media is going to be gunning for you. The Republicans are going to be gunning for you. And other Democrats who want to be president are going to be gunning for you. You've got to live squeaky clean life. But they were so brazen that they thought they could take in all these millions of dollars through her crazy nonprofits and not even pay all their taxes. That's unbelievable.
Yes, especially since he's a very wealthy individual when you take into his context, his wineries. But that's on paper. In practice, they've had to, as you know, Jen Van Laar has done some great reporting on this. I like to always give credit to other investigative reporters who have broken these amazing stories. And she is on the case, and they have had to take out their recent mortgage from they had to have their in-laws, her rich Republican in-laws in Montana, sign off on their $9 million estate. So that they most recent purchase. And their mortgage issues have always been, their purchases have always been a subject of bizarre machinations. We'll put it that way. And I'm not as well versed in it as Jen, but my goodness.
Yeah, it seems from what I gather, because I had Jennifer on yesterday, and I've read her stuff too. I read you, I read her, I read Katie Grimes. You all are doing terrific work here, but they have somebody who gifts them the property through an LLC, a business partner, so they get it for free. The LLC pays cash, and then after the fact, they go get a mortgage financed by Jennifer's parents. Yeah.
Why are they living so far above their real means? And they're having to rely on, I think they bought one of their homes from the Pritzkers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's just, and then of course Pritzkers comes to his rescue when you're being targeted by the Trump administration, which is absolutely false, because this investigation started out of the Eastern District U.S. Attorney's Office in Sacramento, not from Washington whatsoever. And it started, the Dana Williamson one was before that, and that started in the Biden administration, you know.
Yeah, can you hang on for another segment?
Sure thing.
There's so much to cover here. All right, we got Susan Crabtree on. She's been covering Newsom for a long time. And Susan wrote a book with Jed McFadder called Fool's Gold. You ought to read it. I have. The radicals, con artists, and traitors who killed the California dream. She wrote this last year, and it's definitely worth reading as this scandal widens. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A shelter-in-place order has been issued for areas around a massive cold storage warehouse, which is on fire in Boyle Heights. President Trump has signed the memorandum of understanding reached with Iran to end the war. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, heading to the 5 next.
They say time heals all wounds. The accident attorneys at Sweet James know that's only partly true. When you're hurt in an accident, you need to know the legal system is rigged. It is, like everything else. And you need someone who knows that system inside and out, help you unrig it. Sweet James and his team have a level of experience, and they have the desire to fight for you. They deal with billion-dollar insurance companies all the time, and the insurance companies will refuse to help you. So you don't fight by yourself. Your attorneys at Sweet James will walk right beside you, tell your story, and make the companies listen. They deliver results that sends the insurance companies a message and gets you the maximum compensation, the justice you deserve. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, call your accident attorneys at Sweet James. You pay no costs or fees until they win. With an office in L.A., 800-9-million, 800-9-million, 800-9-000-000, sweetjames.com.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Partly cloudy tomorrow, highs upper 60s to mid 80s. This report brought to you by Mattress Firm. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Slow on the 5 in Irvine.
This is the northbound side, and that's where traffic loads up at the 405 split. That 5 northbound really slows down ahead as you continue all the way into Anaheim, looking better past Euclid. Even the southbound side of the 5 slows from about Euclid, delays and stretches as you continue all the way back towards Tuscany Road. It's also a very tough drive out of Santa Monica this afternoon. East 10 slowing from just about 20th Street. Delays across Mid-City all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. But it's the Cajon Pass that loads up 15 northbound from Glen Helen Parkway to the 138. Southbound slowing from almost Oak Hill as you roll back towards Cleghorn. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands, and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy. This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
The FIFA World Cup 26 is happening across Los Angeles. For 39 unforgettable days, the excitement extends beyond the stadium with official Los Angeles World Cup 26 fan zones and celebrations throughout the region. Watch matches live, experience fan activities, and join supporters as neighborhoods come alive with football, culture, and community. 10 locations, 39 days of fan celebrations. One unforgettable summer in Los Angeles. Visit LosAngelesFWC26.com for the full calendar of events and find a fan zone near you.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JBL, speaks about the role and growth of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with the audio media category. And for us in particular, we've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find it to be highly critical to our business. So the channels you're listening to, whether it's a podcast or a radio network, are so personal. It's from someone you trust. And frankly, it's less skippable. People are less likely to skip your ads because it's in an environment that they've already chosen to opt into and listen to.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. And all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Years of early mornings, every weekend, every holiday, all for one dream, to play on the LPGA Tour. She finally turned pro. Now, she just needs a stage worthy of her talent. Next Golf is that stage, a professional women's tour in Florida built to give these athletes the runway they've earned. Support her journey at nextgolf.com/support. That's nxxtgolf.com. Play it forward.
Joy is essential, and it's also elusive. But now, there's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Joy 101. If you're craving inspiration, support, and useful tools to maximize your joy, tune into these candid, uplifting, and moving on-air chats. Listen to Joy 101 on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Joy 101 and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
The biggest FIFA World Cup ever has started.
The most goals the United States have ever scored in a World Cup game.
The only place to hear the action for free is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live.
First career World Cup hat trick.
Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Just search World Cup.
Don't miss Team USA's next match Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern against Australia.
The world is listening. Are you? iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
English star Harry Kane scores twice to lead England to the 4-2 win over Croatia.
There he is again, Harry Kane. England back in front.
Kane's 2 goals ties him for the most World Cup goals in English soccer history. Earlier in the day, Portugal settled for a 1-1 draw with DR Congo. It's the first time Congo has ever earned a point at the World Cup.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
It's Conway Show. You remember those 2 cops that were horse playing in Pasadena and one cop shot the other one in the garage? Well, today after 6, we have a gun expert coming in to break that down and find out who's getting fired and who might actually go to jail over it. Wow. That's today after 6 on The Conway Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Moist line for Friday. You could call in all your insanity. 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. We're talking to Susan Crabtree. Last year, she wrote a book, The Radicals, Con Artists and Traitors Who Killed the California Dream and Now Threaten Us All. That was the subtitle for Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold is the name of the book. Susan wrote it along with Jed McFadder. You ought to read it. It's quite good and seems fresh all over again with Gavin Newsom admitting he's getting investigated. His wife is getting investigated. There's tax issues. Susan, let's talk about Dana Williamson. She has already pleaded guilty to felonies involving stealing money from Javier Becerra's account. She was the chief of staff for Newsom. What role could she be playing in this? Because I know her sentencing is supposed to be next month. You think she's talking? Because she was the right-hand person for Newsom for about 2 years in his office.
Right. And Javier Becerra's campaign manager previously when he ran for attorney general. I honestly think it's a great question, John, because there's this elusive whistleblower that was talking to the Sacramento U.S. attorney. And publicly, Dana Williams told her through her attorney, said, oh, the feds came talking to me and they asked me, they were pressing me on anything about Newsom because the investigation was really about Newsom. And I said, oh, I didn't have anything on him because I had never witnessed any wrongdoing. Does that sound like somebody who Gil Duran, one of her fellow Democratic consultants, called acting? He said she acted like a mafia boss in Sacramento. That was her reputation.
Yeah.
That she saw, I see nothing here. I know nothing. I see nothing. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, in her plea agreement, big things got dropped, like her bad PPP loan during her own businesses had a loan during COVID from the federal government that was fraudulent, according to the original indictment.
They dropped that.
That got wiped away. Yeah, that got dropped. So how do you think that got dropped? Is she cooperating? That's a big question. But there is also this other outstanding issue that could hurt her or hurt her clients or one-time clients. Have you heard about this Activation Blizzard issue with the gaming company?
I have seen that in the news stories. Yeah. Activation Blizzard. Yeah. There was some investigation into that company as well. And she had connections to it. How would this play into Newsom right now?
Right. So Newsom supposedly, or his office, someone in his office fired the California Justice Department attorney that was looking into this. And it was a sex discrimination case against Activation Blizzard. They were operating supposedly like a frat house. Who knows about the merits of the case? But there was a direct intervention into that case by Gavin Newsom's office that I'm hearing about through sources. And lo and behold, that company was a Dana Williamson client of her consulting firm before she joined Newsom's office in early 2023. So there's a lot swirling around out there. Of course, there could be a number of issues. We reported on all of Gavin Newsom's ties to China SF, to China through his nonprofit that he started as mayor at China SF, and whether he should have had been registered as a foreign agent, just like Hunter Biden's issues. Should he have been registered as a foreign agent when he was going over there and opening the golden gates of California out to Chinese businesses that were undercutting our own solar companies? SunTech is a Chinese company that he just welcomed right into California. And what did they do? They undercut Solyndra, and Solyndra went bust, as you know, and there was billions of dollars of our taxpayer money invested in Solyndra. And he just let it happen. He made it happen, actually. He facilitated it. He also brought in all kinds of different really bad characters from China, the triad gangs that we write about in the book. And they were some of these individuals that he was doing business with his wine companies in China, because as he brought in those companies, he was trademarking his own Plump Jack wine to China, and he was actually serving as a sommelier to the CCP, as we like to say. And
the Chinese Communist Party, yeah.
Yes, yeah. A wine tasting for the bigwigs in the CCP and others, really high rollers in Shanghai at this really nice restaurant where he physically served the wine. So it's just, there's a number of things it could be. We know we've written extensively about his and his wife's ties to PG&E, PG&E is one of her biggest donors. They swore them off. Oh, we're not going to take any more donations from PG&E. Once the Paradise Fire killed 84 people, it was found guilty of PG&E was found guilty of not taking care of its equipment, and this huge hook that they were supposed to, even according to their own records, were supposed to take care of it. They let it fell and started a fire on one of their huge transmissions up in that area of beautiful area of Paradise that it just leveled and killed 84 people. Well, guess what? There had been such a big ties between PG&E and Gavin Newsom's wife that they are listed as an executive producer on one of her gender justice films.
Oh, is that right? And that much money they spent? They had screening in PG&E headquarters of her films. Oh my God! Hey, listen, Susan, I got to stop you only because we got to do the news. But I think we'll be talking a lot more about this. That is a lot of rich material just in the last 5 minutes. Fool's Gold is the name of the book, and Susan's writing more on this at Real Clear Politics. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Take care.
All right. We come back. I'll give you a rundown if you weren't with us earlier. $340 million in shakedown money that Newsom got from companies and wealthy people to all these charities and nonprofits, including his wife. And he rewarded them as well. This is all legal, only in California. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Firefighters have been battling for several hours to get control of a fire at a big cold storage warehouse in Boyle Heights. Authorities also issued a shelter-in-place order because of ammonia leaking inside the building on South Los Palos Street. LA City Fire Chief Jamie Moore says they used water-dropping helicopters.
It was creeping along almost like a brush fire would in a topographical area with grass. We decided to use water-dropping helicopters to stop the majority of this fire from spreading throughout this building.
The LAPD, went on a citywide tactical alert to keep officers on duty beyond normal shifts because of the public safety concerns. The LAPD says the officer who shot a dog in Canoga Park has been taken out of the field, as is standard procedure in cases like this. Officers were called to a place Saturday night because of a woman screaming, but it turns out that she was just excited about the New York Knicks NBA win. LAPD Chief McDonald told KFI's Gary and Shannon police take this seriously.
We understand the public concern over this, looking at what other options possibly could have been available. But at the end of the day, the loss of a pet like this, we understand the trauma that causes.
The National Action Network says it wants a meeting with McDonald about the circumstances of the shooting and the department's use of force policies. A preliminary hearing has been pushed back to late July for singer David, who is charged with killing a teen girl whose dismembered body was found in his impounded Tesla. The hearing to decide if there's enough evidence for a trial was supposed to start at the end of this month. Another hearing to give the court an update on the case has been reset for about 3 weeks. A coastal hazard warning is still in effect in Southern California. ABC's Kana Whitworth says officials are urging people that want to go to the beach to be aware.
With strong rip currents and high surf, there are urgent warnings for the public to stay out of the ocean. More than 500 people rescued in Newport Beach, where lifeguards were spotted battling rough currents to save a surfer.
2 college students have died after being swept into the ocean near Santa Cruz. And President Trump says he has signed that memorandum of understanding reached with Iran to end the war. He says he did it after leaving a dinner hosted by French President Macron at the Palace of Versailles. Under the agreement, Tehran has to dilute its stockpile of highly enriched uranium, and the U.S. will waive sanctions on the country, immediately allowing Iran to sell its oil freely. Go into the 405 next.
Let me tell you about SuperSure. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's it. That's the finish line. They give you a handshake, take the commission, they're done, and you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Meantime, your business runs all year, and the gaps are there all year. The risk is there as well. So I'm telling you about SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts which translates your current policy into plain English, so you see what's covered and what's not. And they have a business value calculator, so you can estimate what your business is worth, so you know exactly what needs protecting. Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com, supersure.com. Sing.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
I thought they were going to sing.
No,
all right.
That's
they don't sing anymore.
your other ones.
All right.
Southland weather from KFI. Patchy drizzle in the morning, then partly cloudy. Highs upper 60s and 70s. Metro LA. Mid 70s to mid 80s in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Upper 60s to low 70s at the beaches. Low 70s inland OC. Right now, 71 in Laguna Woods and 73 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Crash on the 405 in Sherman Oaks.
Northbound, just before the 101. That's where this wreck has been pulled out of lanes into the center divider. But overall slowing still loading up out of Culver City from just about the 90. Beyond the scene of the crash, that 405 remains pretty slow all the way to Nordoff and North Hills, and then slowing as you approach the 5 merge into Sylmar. The drive on the 5 also a tough one this afternoon. Delays out of Commerce getting away from just about Washington Boulevard, and you're on the brakes in stretches as you travel all the way back to the 14 freeway. Very slow on the 15 northbound in the Cajon Pass. Delays from Glen Helen Parkway to the 138. And it's the southbound side that loads up out of the high desert from just about Ranchero Road as you continue back towards Cleghorn. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
GiveMeTheVin.com. You get the most money for your used car. It's that simple. There's thousands of reviews that prove me right. Go online there. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Enter your car's VIN number or license plate number, and then they'll give you a 60-second offer, a bid. 60 seconds, pressure-free service, $2,000 to $200,000. GiveMeTheVin.com gives you the most money. GiveMeTheVin.com and get your check on the spot.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Don't let the June gloom fool you. Whether it's cool or hot, termites are still active. Droppings and discarded wings are signs of an infestation. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free inspection. Get our no tent, no move out treatment with a 2-year warranty. Call 800-PACIFIC. Some restrictions apply.
Just Food for Dogs, the #1 vet-recommended fresh dog food. Made right here in L.A.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
AMCO, with over 40 centers serving Southern California. If you've ever marketed a product or business, you know how much attention it takes to break through. But our nation's 250th is a rare moment that cuts through the noise. And with 77% of Americans saying it's an appropriate time to celebrate, your business has a green light to show up for our nation's big birthday party. Don't miss your chance to do it with iHeart and reach local listeners when they're ready to take action. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
Have a termite problem? You must act fast. Call Ecola at 1-800-332-BUGS.
This June, pay nothing until 2028 with American Vision Windows. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
The great part about being a dad is the ability to fall asleep in my chaise lounge in Oasis. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Soccer watch party at Sideline, Saturday the 20th. Adidas giveaway and Av Alta players. Go!
Number 2.
A free bucket cap for Dad, the 21st. Then Father's Day bingo to win a share of over $25,000.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away 3 Corvette Stingrays June 28th. You could drive off a winner.
Morongo, good times.
No reason to trouble yourself by diving into this muck.
Cannonball!
We'll do it for you.
This swamp covers a lot of wet ground.
Swamp Watch with Gary and Shannon. This is a sewer.
Weekdays at 11:20 on KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. Live from 3 to 6, after 6, in about a half an hour, we're going to have the podcast released. It's the same as the radio show, so you can listen to what you missed. Live on YouTube right now, live on YouTube, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We have a chat on the side where you can carry on about Deborah. And we have a super chat on the YouTube screen at Evan4074. I like this one. I noticed an LA Times trick to throw dirt on an opponent like Pratt or Trump. They raise questions. If conservatives raise legit questions like election scams, it's making claims without evidence. Yes, there is an art to this racket. First of all, yesterday, Newsom claimed he was being targeted by Trump politically. He made that claim without evidence. He made a baseless claim. He didn't produce a shred of evidence that he was being targeted because of his politics. He claimed it's because I'm considering running for president. How do we know that? And then Adam Housley was the first one I saw, independent journalist. He's the one who posted, no, this goes back to the Biden administration. Turns out to be true. There's multiple investigations. And this one goes back to the Biden administration. So he lied. He didn't have evidence. He didn't have any facts. But the LA Times doesn't put that in the headline of the story. Now, the other day, and this was largely overlooked, there was a former employee of TMZ who said that they have a far-left progressive editor, news director, whatever you call that at TMZ, who absolutely refuses to run any stories that's critical or embarrassing of major left-wing figures in California. They're all part of the cause. They're all part of the same progressive cause. And they're all good teammates. And you just don't do that. So the Times, it's ancient history now. They don't do investigations of people like Newsom or Bass or Raman. They don't. They don't. When others do, they don't join in covering the news story. Maybe if the story comes to a bitter, ugly end, they'll acknowledge that it happened. You know, somebody has to resign. But they just simply won't do it. And mostly they're silly blogger girls, silly progressive blogger girls writing at the LA Times. And that's just not where you go. I mean, there's places you just don't go if you want serious news coverage. And I have found a lot of the smaller outlets like California Globe, like Red State with Jennifer Van Laar, Susan Crabtree at Real Clear Politics, and also at like Christopher Rufo at City Journal. And they all freelance and write for California Post. Many of them write for as well. That's where you have to go. Adam Housley is doing his own thing. Used to be with Fox News. They're simply you're just not going to get it. It's not going to happen. From what I understand, I know enough people, left-wing news directors at the TV stations, left-wing producers, with some exceptions. And it's easy to tell what the exceptions are, who are neutral, regular journalists, some of them more conservative, but it's a small number. You could see that in the news coverage from the Chronicle in San Francisco to the LA Times to the San Diego Union Tribune, all the television. I mean, there's only one TV reporter who does any damage to the Democrats, and that's Ashley Zavala for Channel 3 in Sacramento. So it's very few. A lot of this stuff has been out there. Like I said, Susan Crabtree's done it. Jennifer Van Laar has done terrific work. Katie Grimes at the California Globe, but it's not amplified by anybody else. The stories come. They're seen by the followers of that particular site, and then it's gone. When you stack up all the evidence, it's quite astounding what the Newsoms have been involved in. It's really overwhelming. But you see, you have to get it out of your head. The world changed dramatically and irreversibly And if you're still walking around with this mindset of, well, the media this and the media that, that is the old days. That's the old century. Not anymore, and not for a long time. You have to go to certain places where they're covering this news. And yeah, it's frustrating because it doesn't get amplified. It doesn't get widespread. And there's a lot of ignorant people walking around because who's got time to scrounge the internet for all these sites? These sites are popular in some quarters and they're obscure in other quarters. There isn't a mass media anymore. It's fragmented into little pieces. But which is why, if you wonder why would Gavin and Jennifer do as much of this, they knew it wouldn't be covered. They knew they were politically bulletproof. There's a lot of people that aren't going to believe it anyway or not care, which is the state we're in now. That's why all this stuff didn't derail them at all here in California. But now he wants to run for president, and he's got a big problem because everybody else in the rest of the country, the other Democratic candidates for governor, certainly the Republican candidates, and a lot of the media, even some of the mainstream left-wing media, is going to go after him. Because there's money to be made. There is notoriety to be had. There's careers that they can enhance. They don't know anything to him. And he makes them all look bad. He's a fool. He makes the Democratic Party look bad. So much of the criticism of the Democratic Party centers on what goes on in California. Newsom is an embarrassment. He's a lead weight. If they could drop him and Kamala Harris, they'd be better off nationally as a brand. Their reputation would be enhanced. But if those two clowns are the two leading candidates, good Lord. And now this is pouring out. And I could tell they were crooked years ago. We talked about this 1,000 times. And certainly Susan Crabtree and Jennifer Van Laar and Katie Grimes, they produced dozens and dozens of articles proving it. But everybody ignored it. Well, now they can't ignore it anymore because big clown Newsom came out and said, yeah, I'm being investigated. Okay, for what? He didn't say. Politically motivated. Where's your evidence? There is none. It's without evidence. A claim without evidence, as they always put in the Trump headlines. Okay. This one's without evidence. This one is baseless. So what are you being investigated for? Well, these reporters I mentioned know. Jennifer Van Laar, well, they don't know for sure because, as Susan said, there's so many different possibilities. But it's on the list here. Something on the list that we've been going through. And there could be multiple investigations. There very likely are, and there could be multiple reasons. But you focus on Jennifer Newsom and these monstrous nonprofits that she has and her for-profit companies and the $4 million she get making these horrific, woke, progressive feminist films. All right, we come back. I'll go through the Behested payment list. You got to listen to this. It's $340 million of shakedown money for the Newsoms. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour news.
Here is the latest. A shelter-in-place order is issued for areas around a massive cold storage warehouse fire in Boyle Heights. President Trump has signed the memorandum of understanding negotiated with Iran. We'll have more at the top of the hour, going to the 5 next.
You know about Byrna. They want to get you prepared. They're offering $100 on the Byrna LE Gen 2. I'll tell you what that is in a moment. You're going to want this. You got to go to Byrna.com, Byrna, Byrna.com to get yours while supplies last. Now, you might already own a gun, but before you face financial, legal, and emotional weight of actually pulling the trigger, smarter ways to get a Byrna. FBI says less than 0.01% of all altercations require a lethal response. You all have a safety plan that includes a gun, but that's necessary way less than 1% of the time. With a Byrna launcher, no background or permit checks are needed, background checks or permits. The Byrna launcher has powerful deterrents like tear gas and kinetic rounds with a 60-foot range. One shot can incapacitate a bad guy for up to 40 minutes. Byrna is offering $100 off the Byrna LE Gen 2, BYRNA, Byrna.com. Get yours while supplies last, Byrna.com.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow, highs upper 60s to mid 80s. This report brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving from your Toyota dealer's traffic center. We make it easy. Stall on the 5 in Sun Valley.
So this one has been reported on the northbound side before Sunland Boulevard. Center lane block delays backing up out of Burbank, getting away from Burbank Boulevard. Beyond the scene of the stall, you still have slowing in stretches as you travel all the way to the 14 freeway. Another stall, this one in Santa Ana, 5 northbound past Main Street. Out of lanes in the center divider, we're still seeing some overall slowing. Getting out of Irvine, leaving the 133 freeway, and the 91 eastbound in Anaheim backing up from the 57 to Green River. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy.
Hey, it's Gary and Shannon. We're here with Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And Jeff, why should people care how their financial advisor is paid?
Most people don't. And that's a problem. But it's because how your advisor is paid will directly influence the advice that you receive.
How so?
Well, most financial advisors are brokers, and brokers can sell one investment over a better one just because it pays a higher commission. Fiduciary advisors are required to act in the client's best interest first.
And that's why we are clients of Trajan Wealth.
Exactly. At Trajan Wealth, our compensation is simple. The more you make, the more we make. Our interests are aligned.
Don't work with a financial advisor who just wants to sell you something. Work with a fiduciary at Trajan Wealth like we did.
Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Are you like millions of Americans who avoided filing their taxes this year because you're afraid you will owe the IRS thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, you don't need to be afraid anymore. Tax Relief Advocates has the solution. We can file your back tax years and may be able to reduce or even eliminate what you owe. With over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, we've helped over 100,000 Americans just like you permanently and painlessly resolve their IRS debt. A resolution specialist is waiting to speak to you now, who will let you know what tax debt reduction you may qualify for. Tax Nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call our tax relief hotline now to see what you qualify for at 800-511-0719. 800-511-0719. Again, that's 800-511-0719. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Still stuck driving a lemon? If your car keeps going back to the dealership for the same issue, you could qualify for a refund, replacement, or cash compensation. Visit lemonwins.com or text lemon to lemon. That's lemonwins.com.
Is it time to sell your home? Maybe you want to downsize. Maybe you want to move, or maybe you inherited a home that you just don't want to hang on to.
Whatever your reasons to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes for decades. Their seller reviews speak for themselves.
They are people who buy from people and will provide custom solutions that work for your needs.
They offer and will buy with cash, and they can close in days. The great part is you don't have to worry about spending money on repairs, preparing your home to be shown, or having people come in and out.
It's just a great offer and easy that's going to give you peace of mind so you can walk away happy.
So if it's time to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a free, no obligation offer today.
888-321-AS-IS. That's 888-321-AS-IS.
888-321-2747 and visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy. What's seller's advantage?
DRE number 019-61658. Providence Realty DRE number 019-15212.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
How could I entice you to get your butt to the gym?
A gold star would work for me.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to talk about. Gold stars getting people to the gym.
The Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow at 9.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Talking about the investigations into Gavin and Jennifer. This from CBS. This is interesting. Now, Newsom has been claiming that he's under investigation. But sources have denied that to the Associated Press. The AP reported that a source familiar with the matter at the Department of Justice, I assume, denied the existence of an investigation specifically targeting the governor, but says there's multiple federal investigations into people around him, including one related to his wife's taxes. So he's going around saying he's being targeted. The Associated Press sources say, well, it's his wife and a lot of people around him. Multiple investigations. Of course, from what I understand, he files his taxes jointly with his wife. So he's claiming in fact, today he was squealing and squawking, claiming that the Department of Justice ought to go and investigate Trump's friends. Yeah, that's his response to everything. Why don't you explain what they're investigating? You're claiming this investigation is going on and that they have been nosing around for a year, calling up and questioning friends and allies, coworkers. Well, what are they asking about? You come clean. Don't say, why did you go after Trump? No, they're going after you for the stuff you and your wife may have done. Idiot. Oh, that's all he does. Everything is deflect, bat it back. All right, quickly. I want you to listen to the whole 3 o'clock hour. I get into this in great detail. I don't have a lot of time here, but I'll give you the idea. We've got something in California called behesting. Gavin Newsom can call up corporations and wealthy people and say, you give me millions of dollars and you give some to my wife's nonprofit. And they do. They make these huge donations. They're not political donations, but they work like political donations. They go to all these, quote, charities. He did this 1,325 times since he became lieutenant governor in 2011. $350 million worth of payments. $350 million paid out by these companies. And I'll give you an example. Blue Shield gave him $20 million, and they got a multi-million-dollar no-bid contract to distribute the vaccines during the lockdown. Kaiser Foundation gave $10 million to the COVID-19 response fund, and they got a no-bid contract to manage Medi-Cal. Almost $5 million was given to the California Partners Project. That's one of the fake nonprofits that Jennifer runs. That includes about $2.25 million from the Federated Indians of Grayton Ranchera. They donated $500,000 in 2024 and another $500,000 in 2025. And in return, Newsom went to the Biden administration to get them to stop a casino project of a rival Indian tribe, Koi Nation. After the second $500,000 payment, California sued to block the project. How about that? Silicon Valley Bank was going out of business. They gave Jennifer Newsom's California Partners Project about $100,000 in 4 donations. 2 years later, Newsom calls up the Biden administration to try to get them to intervene in the bank's collapse. 3 of Newsom's wineries were clients of Silicon Valley Bank. They were collapsing, going out of business. They'd given Newsom money, and he paid them back by trying to get the Biden administration to do something. There's a tremendous amount more, and we went into it in detail in the 3 o'clock hour. So I would download that hour first, hour number 1. And we're going to release the podcast coming up in minutes. And the YouTube video in its entirety will be converted to a recording in a matter of minutes as well. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have Adam Hasley on tomorrow. He's the independent journalist, formerly with Fox, and he's got a lot of information that he has dug up this week on Gavin and Jennifer, the grifters. All right. Eileen Gonzalez has the news. Oh, it's Brigida D'Agostino today.
Hi there.
I don't know. I'm cursed every time. I just, you come into the room and I always screw up. Brigida D'Agostino is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.